Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gunmetal Riffs. This is Gunmetal Soul, where our team is discovering the remnants of Philadelphia and searching to rebuild or to build something called the Franklin Network. So hello and welcome again. I know it's been a couple of weeks, so hi.
Hi.
Yeah. How's things for you, audience? Yeah. So, let's go around and give the
Yeah,
quick.
all of you answer at one time. Everybody just go, audience.
Yeah,
We're gonna
because I'm
amalgamate
obviously
into one just
Yep.
salt.
Yep. Just looking at chat. Sure. Anyway, the so let's go around and give the quick 5-cent introductions for our characters, starting with Cecile.
Hi everybody, I'm Dara. I will be Cecile this evening, our French-Canadian raccoon mutant. Sniper, thief, and trash extraordinaire.
Right. Up next is Adelaide.
Hey, my name is Fox. I'll be playing an Adelaide tonight. She is a cyber knight and a human. She hit thing real good with brain sword. Fancy armor. That's 5 sentences. I guess that last one's a sentence fragment.
I said 5
Damn it.
cents, but yes, sentences also works.
Oh, I heard sentence. Sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, that was more professional than I intended. Rainier.
Hi, I am Riley. I am play Rainier, who is a Fae Psy Warrior strange.
Face Eye Warrior is what we need. All right. You make brain claws and fuck shit up and have Fey ancestry.
Yeah.
That's the highlights on you.
Ancestry.
When we last left, the group had spoken to. I've forgotten what I've named all of my NPCs. The
Oh
woman
no.
at not Kai Burns, that's my mentor sheriff. Lily. We'd spoken to Israel Lily at the Magic Gardens in Philadelphia on what used to be South Street. And she said that she would give you more information about the other locations in the city in exchange for all of you going and helping the fishers, which is a community of people who fish on and live on the Delaware River, deal with their sudden drop in fishing because something had been eating the fish. You went out to discover what was doing it, and while you were on the boat got nudged by some kind of weird shark dog thing, which you proceeded to shoot. And after you had shot it, the boat got flipped by some kind of orca beast with a unicorn horn. And then a man with a crab claw in coral armor got off of the back of the orca beast and said, "You shot my dog," and the orca beast nearly rent Rainier in twain. They took a huge hit and managed to soak a good amount of the damage. So yeah. Is there anything else you would like to recap on? Because it's been a while. Any other recap questions you think you might want to know answers to right now? Feel
Yeah,
free
you
to.
missed the part where I've got glitter boy armor now, so this is not going to be a problem. I found that.
No, that
It's
didn't
what I landed
happen.
inside of. When I came out of the water, I landed in the cockpit, and
You
now I can shoot this thing.
you haven't found that yet.
Damn it! I'm experiencing nonlinear time again.
You
Sorry.
haven't gotten to the place where they make glitter boy armor in this area. Anyway. So, the group of you are there. Let's go ahead. I've refreshed your bennies. You are currently in combat with.
Oh, right, Benny's.
Oh,
Shit,
and I
have to roll for
accidentally
that.
closed roll 20 somehow. I swear it was open. Not welcome. In. Launch. Go. Faster.
Launch.
More
I thought you
productive.
said launch.
Don't worry, I started opening it and then never finished opening it.
Uh,
There's just a
Yep.
blank Google tab going, hello?
Don't mind me. I'm just gonna make a spirit roll.
Yep. You gotta make a spirit roll and you got a 10. Good.
Huzzah.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do a new round of initiative. Everyone's things are back to where they should be.
Oh, that's right. I'm shaking. Right.
Cecile, you have a 2 or a 10. Which would you prefer, the 2 or the 10?
I'll take the 10.
Hey, there we go. All right, now I order them. Buy cards /suit. All right. Bad news, everyone. The enemies are going to go first with their kings. So, you can spend a Benny if you want a new initiative card. Though it's very unlikely you will get higher than them.
Yeah, that's rough.
It is rough. As these enemies have proven that they are not messing around.
I drew a 3. I drew the 3 of hearts. Hell yeah. Great. Awesome.
You're
Let's
all
fucking
stunned
go.
by what is clearly a New Zealand accent telling
Fucking
you
full
about
slow.
how you shot the dog. All right.
Well.
All right. The woman who was driving the boat was Rosa, I believe. I don't remember. Or did I just base her off my friend Rosa? I forget. We're gonna say Rosa.
Sadly, the
Yes.
last name I wrote down was Clementine, who I'm pretty sure was back at the house.
Yes,
Yeah.
Rosa's driving the boat.
Rosa's
Ah,
driving
there we
the
go.
boat. Gotcha.
Rosa Chen.
Yeah.
Rosa Chen. Rosa is on the ground and is going to recover. She does have a pistol and is going to shoot at the thing she can see, which is the weird, long-tailed monkey that made weird eyes at everybody.
Forgot about that.
And she misses terribly. All right, enemy 1. Enemy 1 is the shark dog's there, so the orca is once again going to claw for whoever is on the shore. Gonna go for Rainier again.
Okay.
All right.
I think I'm still on top of the side of the boat. Because the boat's on... The boat
Yeah,
got
actually-
beached, and I'm on top of the boat.
Yeah,
Could I say before we get into it, can we set the scene again?
Oh, yeah.
It's been a month.
The boat got slammed onto the New Jersey side of the Delaware River. Is currently sticking up sideways in the sand. The crew got thrown. One of you took a slight bump to the head, but no one took enough to be injured. Y'all got spooky-eyed by the monkey. No one really flinched at that, I think.
Nope.
And then the giant beast came up and did a big cut on Rainier, smashing them into the shore. Though Cecile got on top of the boat, and the guy fired at Cecile, I believe.
Yes.
With his coral rifle.
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay, so we're essentially it's dark to start with, right? It's late, right? Isn't it nighttime?
It is
Nighttime.
late night. It is like midnight-ish. There
Okay.
is we'll say there's a pretty full moon, if not a full moon.
Okay.
There is some light coming from across the river, but not a lot.
Okay.
It's
I
no
know-
longer a well-lit city.
Yeah, illumination can certainly affect some of us see great in the dark, others not so much.
There was a lantern hanging on like the front part of the boat that is still hanging and still lit. Doesn't seem to be leaking fuel or anything. It's just a little lantern.
Okay. So it is dark. The boat is when you say it's on its side, so like this is the front of the boat, so it's like boop like this.
Boats
Okay.
normally like this. It got smashed.
Right. Okay. We're on a bunch of like
Rocks and
I don't know what the side of the Delaware River looks
it's
like.
not
Gravel?
exactly. It is not beachy. Beaching, like beach would not be the word for it. The
Okay.
river has risen, so it is kind of like rocky ruins because the river is higher than it used to be. That it has just
Right.
overtaken some parts of some buildings. Some old buildings do jut out into the river slightly, but this is clearly this part used to be a street. There's like a thin layer of dirt on top of that asphalt.
Okay.
From sediment and other stuff that's layered itself there. The
Okay.
river is brown, like it's murky on the best of days. It's a healthy river, but that means it's full of life and things when it is, not perfectly clear.
Okay. And so that's kind of the terrain we're dealing with is like dirt and muck and mud and grass,
You are
some
going to be
asphalt.
picking bits of it out of if you all survive, you will be picking bits of mud out of your armor for a long time.
Okay. And then Cecile is up, like
On top of the
crouched,
boat.
perched, is up top of the boat in some capacity.
Yeah, the boat's like
Uh,
this, and Cecilia's.
Cecile is being Cecile. And what happened to Rosa? Where's Rosa at relative
Rosa
to all
got
this?
thrown out of the boat and is further inland a bit.
Okay, just Rosa's
Mhm.
somewhere nearby.
Nearby, you can
It's
see where Rosa is, but Rosa doesn't. Rosa's not really a combat person.
sure. And we're in the seconds after the crash, so it's okay for things to be a little jostled right now.
Yeah.
As I recall, I hit the ground and like slid into a rock or something, and that's what stopped my continued advance down the beach.
Yes. Also, your immense. I was gonna not say weight, but in this terms, it's just your armor and cybernetics that cause you to be a dense combatant.
Yes, it's okay to say wait. I'm wearing a big
Yeah.
chunky suit of armor.
Yeah.
Also, I work out. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then so that leaves. So you said there was like a monkey thing.
There is in the woods looks like a weird monkey with a long stripy tail that made like devil eyes at you before. You thought you spotted
Okay.
like a weird thing of eyes across the ocean. Turns out
Right.
it was this weird monkey thing.
Okay. So there's like a tree line deeper in away from the.
Yes, there's a little
Okay.
bit of area like a downed building and then rubble and trees. This thing's in the trees.
Gotcha. And then coming up out of the water is a giant fucking monster with a giant monster on its back.
Pretty much, yeah.
And it is accosting my good friend Rainier.
Yes. It did a big hit on Rainier. Rainier
Who went
rolled with it but took a lot of damage. And
went ass over tea kettle onto the beach.
this is the first time you've seen Rainier really bleeding. Is Rainier's blood, humanish blood? Is there something special about Rainier's blood?
It's
something special about the
close.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say from a distance, it doesn't really look different.
Gotcha.
It's red.
Yeah. I figured out something, but it wouldn't be relevant right now. Okay. The giant orca beast with the narwhal horn is going to attempt to spear Rainier into the boat. All right, let me roll
goody.
my d10. Okay. All right, what is your parry?
8.
All right, that was a 10 on a d12. Meaning I need to roll some damage. Let me just look at my previous rolls. There we go. All right. I'm going to roll 2d12 for damage on this one because it didn't do the other attack. It's not using a claw here. What is your toughness?
16.
All right, and how much of that is armor?
7.
All right. It doesn't have the armor piercing enough to get through your armor. It jams into you, but your armor kind of slides a little bit, and it's uncomfortable. It's like you got stabbed in one of the plates of your armor, and the armor kind of snapped loose a little bit in that area with the force of it. This thing slams you into the boat, but does not penetrate through your armor into your chest with its horn. Its horn is razor sharp. All right.
Cool.
Then the large crab-clawed, coral-covered being is gonna once again shoot at Cecile, who is a difficult target to hit.
Yep, I have combat acrobat.
All right, it's gonna be a D8, and he
It's
gets
a
a
D8.
D6. All right, does not hit you with his shot as it goes wide. Says you can't just run into place, and is gonna attempt to use a psychic power.
Shit.
The psychic power does go off. You see kind of a halo of like bioluminescent algae looking around the being's head, and then that algae seems to go to the shark dog that you had shot. The
Oh
algae
no.
covers the shark dog's wound.
It's just us here on top of the boat, just kind of like dipping and then like to one side and then like rolling to the other, but staying on top of the boat and just being like, I did not know it was your dog. I'm sorry. Just trying to like, and then watches that happen. It's like, oh no.
Well, Hayden's not here.
I hope it's not going to
Cecile,
be.
you're next.
The dog. I'd like to shoot the dog, GM.
I already shot the dog once.
Yeah, that means
In
you
the
can shoot it
moonlight.
twice. It was a really good shot.
Yeah, it was a stupid good shot. Let me think. The guy that's on the
Oh, I have 2 copies of it open. That's what's happening.
the Norca, the Narca, whatever I'm
Narwhal
looking at
orca.
right now. Have I ever like heard about this, like something that looks like this, or like know anything about it?
Roll a common knowledge at -4.
Um.
So, roll your common knowledge score and a d6.
I got a 4 on the wild die, but it's still a
So that turns into a 0. All right, you have never heard of coral, orca, stabby, narwhal people.
Yep.
There's nothing like this on what's that river that runs up by the Lake Erie's? At the top of America that runs past Old Bones. Yeah.
The river goes up. It's the only river they teach us about down here. Sorry.
What is it? Lake Ontario.
wish I
Yeah,
was
there's
lying.
nothing like this in Lake Ontario or not near Niagara. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there was any like living in Old Bones.
Living in Old
Any
Bones, you have
pointer?
never heard of anything like this.
Okay.
They aren't. Whatever this is doesn't seem to have a presence in Old Bones.
Alright, so considering the fact that this guy has tried to shoot her several times now, has missed. Adelaide got yeeted way down the beach a little bit, and
I got a
then
fun concussion.
Rainier got
Rent
nearly
and then nearly
destroyed.
skewered. Yeah.
Near has an unfun concussion.
I feel like she would try to be a distraction.
Okay. How would you do this? You're basically trying to do some kind of combat trick here.
Yeah.
To give them a penalty, yes?
Yeah.
All right. This is all under tests. You want to initiate some sort of combat test.
How big is the thing that he's riding on, the narwhal thing? I know it's like big, but
yeah, it's like the size of a bus.
okay.
It's not as long.
He's-
It moves
It's
very
like
fast
that
underwater.
wide.
Yeah, it's that wide. It's
Like
not
that
as long,
tall.
except actually its tail is pretty much long. But yeah, let me open. So here's what I suggest.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to use your acrobatics to kind of like draw their fire and dodge and weave?
Yes.
While like taking shots to keep them occupied. You're not looking to hurt them, you're just looking to provide cover for your friend.
Basically, yeah. The only other thing is if she wanted to be a super distraction is to jump on the narwhal horn and then just flip around it like a kid on a jungle gym until like so she's just a constant like swirling moving target like a carnival game, but also
Okay.
super obnoxious.
All right, go ahead and give me an I was going to say athletics or acrobatics once again. It's been a minute since we played this system.
It's athletics.
Athletics, yeah. There is no separate acrobatics. Acrobatics just gives you bonuses.
Yes, as I recall, acrobatics is an edge.
Yeah.
Got a 5, and she does have acrobatics.
Yeah, you can add the bonus from acrobatics on this, clearly.
I get a free reroll.
Yes, you do.
So What should I be doing a reroll here? 'Cause I got a 5 on the wild die, so.
You got a 5 on the wild die. Re-roll the other die. It might come up better.
Okay, I'll just hit it again. See. See what you want to do.
Yeah. So you end up with a 5. Which is good. You succeed in what you're doing. Because you have a +2 to this, I believe. Because of combat acrobatics. Doesn't matter. You succeed.
Combat. It gives things a -1 to hit me, ranged or melee.
Oh, okay, that's what that does.
Yeah.
As you flippy flop around, you manage to like scramble onto the horn, making it a worse shot. So if anyone's going to try to shoot at you, they're probably going to be shooting at the big orca whale. The downside is you are now on this thing's horn.
Yep.
You are very close to its mouth, made up of sharp, pointy teeth.
Neat. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
She's like, she figures if she's on the horn, it makes its head kind of go, so it can't attack Rainier again, and then the guy's gonna try to shoot her. So she's kind of hoping that she can, like, distract them long enough, and then get the hell out when it's time.
You are applying penalties to both people. Alright. Rainier.
Yeah.
A horn jammed into you, and then Cecile jumped onto the horn and is using it as a trapeze, somewhat.
Yeah, thank you.
bar.
Thank you for that. That's it feels
Sounds
great. So first thing I'm gonna where the hell there it is. Okay. I forgot where things were. It's been a bit. So as this horn basically pins Rainier to the boat, he kind of just they kind of just reach out and grab it.
Mhm.
And frost starts forming around the horn and kind of following that spiral pattern down until it hits them in the chest, and then it just expands out into kind of a bigger a similar pattern to the armor that they wear, but bigger and bulkier, and it has these streaks of blood going through it as if it just kind of popped out, like it started pushing out of their skin and just took some of the blood with it. As I am going to try to activate my warrior in armor, my tattoo.
Oh, you were shaken, so make a roll to unshake. That is a thing.
Shake.
I forget. You succeed with a 14. You are not shaken.
Cool.
You can do your normal amount of actions.
Cool. So let's see if this. Yeah, the 9. That should be fine.
That's a hit with a raise.
Right then.
So I believe that gives you extra armor.
And does the horn look like it's just kind of made of standard bone type things?
It is definitely mega damage. It is a weapon of war. I mean, this horn is been either magically or genetically modified to be as hard as any vibro knife.
Okay.
You could attack it if you'd like. There's ways to break solid objects.
I do also have magic shite. Okay,
Magic
fine.
then.
So as they kind of grasp this horn, or they release it slightly, and their fist weapons kind of shift into what looks like X-23's claws, where it's just the 2 instead of 3, and they're actually going to kind of put them on either side, put the horn between them, and just kind of twist downward.
You're attempting to sword break it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack to hit it. You're attacking a very specific part of this thing, which has its own parry number, which will take a minus due to Sasir weighing it down. So
Okay.
go ahead and roll to hit. Make a regular claw attack on this. That's a 14. That's a
14.
hit with a raise. All right. So now roll your damage. This thing is tough as hell,
Yeah.
but we'll see if you can break it.
29.
29. Okay. I was thinking there's no way they'll. Oh, yes, they did. Okay.
I mean, you do have a giant raccoon lady who's putting a lot of weight on it that the horn's not used to. You're the GM. Your call.
No, this thing is gonna break.
Yeah.
With a roll like that, Sasir manages to like keep it moving enough and keep the beast from getting a firm footing, while Rainier grabs it and then just twists with all their might. And there's a cracking sound and a bellow, which is somewhat whale song, just reverberates into the two of you because you are directly in front of it. As its horn snaps and cracks, and the tip of it breaks off onto the beach. Let's see if it's definitely shaken, and its horn attack is no longer usable.
Hey, Sasir, you can use you can improvise weaponry, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, point of order. What does happen to Sasir? Is she before or after the break in the horn?
She is after it. She is still on its head, except it's gonna go and try to jam her instinctively into the ground.
Neat.
So I'm gonna say she needs to make some kind of evasion roll, which I believe, which is a standard agility check.
Okay.
I think it's normally -2. Agility -2. I forget. Evasion.
With a
Armor.
roll on it.
I don't remember how to
Um,
activate the armor. Nothing.
Do you have it? Do you have that armor as like a specific line item in the armor section on your character sheet?
Yes.
Then on the
Alright.
left-hand side, there's a column that's marked worn. If there's a check mark where it says worn, then it's equipped
cool.
and it's reflected on your sheet.
Yeah.
If it's an X, it is not reflected on your
Oh,
sheet.
that 22 toughness will help.
You hit with
yeah.
a raise on that
Sweet Christmas. That's good.
because it adds directly to toughness instead of creating a different layer. Okay. So, Cecile, you manage to get off before this thing jams you into the boat sideways and then thrashes you into the rocks of the beach. You are no longer on its horn, which is about 1.5 feet shorter.
Okay.
And the horn is jagged, but not nearly as sharp as it was. There's about a foot of basically magical narwhal horn that jams into the rocks on the shore. All right, Adelaide.
My compatriot raised an excellent question. Have I ever seen a weird narwhal riding coral man before? I get around.
No, but you get to roll with only a -2 because of your year spent in certain places.
Sick. Gonna do that. Rolling a die. I got it a 4.
Did you roll to unshake? Are you shaken?
I am shaken. I did not roll to unshake.
Roll to unshake.
I will roll to unshake.
You're unshaken.
I am unshaken.
All right, you got a 4.
I got it a 4.
Is that with the -2?
That is with the -2. It should be reflected in there. Should be reflected in there. Oh yeah, it has to be because my wild die's a negative.
Oh, true. The wild die shows it, but the regular one it doesn't.
Yeah, the regular one doesn't.
It's all good.
I can
So-
re-roll that if you just want me to. Because it's being weird.
Yeah, re-roll that one because
Okay. Common knowledge. Roll -2. Submit. There we go. Oh, I forgot to untick my shake and ignore that. There we go. No, I do not know what the hell this thing is.
you do
Okay,
have bennies if you'd like to spend them.
I do, but
You might need them to stay alive.
I got ways to stay alive. And if I don't, I always wanted to play a zapper. Um, so
Oh, no.
speaking of zapping people, as I just my head clear and like the ringing in my ears as I try to take in like Sincere writing that never mind. Getting up, uh, sword and shield flashing into existence as I push up to my feet. Um, you don't take out the mount, you take out the rider, because without its rider, I feel like it's like Mal said, it's just a wild horse is a big pile of panic. So, I would love to charge at the crab gentleman on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and engage him. Let's just engage him the once with my sword, I think.
Okay.
Because I think the first thing we're going to do on the way up, as my innate action for the turn, is activate Smite. So
Mm-hmm.
let's try and
Powers up the
cast
sword.
Smite.
Love a smoit.
Spend an ISP and roll for Smite.
That makes me
You got a
smoit.
10, that's a hit with a raise.
Hit with a fucking raise. Hot shiggity dit. I've got that for the next 5 turns. 5. So I put a die down in front of me to track that. Okay. Great. I'm just gonna swing at this guy and we're just gonna see how that goes for him. Okay, fantastic. That's
Harry is a 7.
it's a it's meet or beat, right? It's been a minute.
I think it's meat,
Okay,
because you've got to get a
fantastic.
4 to do other things. So
What's
get a 7.
what's also fantastic is I have frenzy. So I'm gonna do that again. Just ignore this second wild die, please.
Mm-hmm.
Ba-ba-ba. Okay, that's a 2. So
That's
a
a
7, a
2.
4, and a 2.
Yep.
So one of those hits. Neat. I should like to roll damage and let's see if I mess this guy up at all. Ha 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 ha. Ugh.
His AP6 brings his toughness down to 12.
I roll a 13s.
Hey.
Oh, barely. All right. So yeah, so I fly like it is just like blowing past my friends who are engaging this whole narwhal situation as this like mud-soaked, like waterlogged streak of blue energy flies past. It's the blue shield and sword illuminating this darkened visage as I just go like fuck this up the side of this thing, and just start swinging into this guy.
Mm-hmm. He is shaken by your attack.
Hey,
He mad as hell
yeah.
and a little off footing right now, with his mount being messed up and his the -2 will continue to apply to him throughout his next turn. All right. Let's do a new set of cards. Deal. Turn order. All right. Cecile got a queen, so she can't replace it. All right. No one got a joker for once. There we go. Rainier, you are first.
Oh, good.
Ace of spades, hot damn.
Yeah, y'all got ace, queen, king, jack. King being one of the Rosa.
Yeah, I think Adelaide has the right idea here, which is you take out the one who's in charge. And Rainier will shove aside what's left of the horn and actually kind of leap up and take a step on what's left of the horn and the narwhal's head and just go straight for the throat on the rider.
Okay.
Go for that. A -1? How is
Yeah,
it?
you rolled.
You're marked as distracted for some reason.
It does say wounds -1 too in
Yeah,
that box.
That might be why. It might be for the wound.
But
First,
then,
I don't see distracted.
did you put a -2 in there?
I didn't put a -2 on
Because
anything.
it's putting a -2 in that attack for some reason. Because you rolled a 9 on the other die. Bring it down to an 8.
Oh, I had a -2 on fighting for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I can see it in your sheet. It's just, yeah, probably an accident.
I don't
So it's
remember, to be
not
honest.
supposed to be there?
Don't think so.
We'll
I don't
remove it.
know.
I don't think so.
I'll remove it
Like,
and I will try again.
Yeah.
The negative from your wound penalty, that makes a ton of sense. The
Yeah.
-2 being on your fighting, no idea why that's there.
Would you like to spend one of your 5 bennies?
Yeah, I'm gonna take another shot at that.
All
What?
right, you got a -2 and a.
Neat.
Why
Why
am
is
I
that
still?
-2 still there?
I don't know. I took it out.
Oh wait, did you hit re-roll or did you hit a new fresh roll on the sheet?
I'll hit a fresh roll on the sheet. Okay.
If you hit
That's-
re-roll, it'll reuse the same math it did last time and won't reflect any changes you made to your sheet.
Oh, okay.
So have that Benny back.
So yeah,
And just do a fresh roll.
There you go. That's correct. 3 and a 4.
You want to
Which-
re-roll that?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Re-roll. Okay, critical failure. You rolled 2 1s.
Why is it? Oh, cause wounds. I was like, why does it say 0?
Because you rolled a 1 on both die, and then your wound subtracts 1 from both
Jesus!
results.
Yep.
So how
Big
does
red
this go
zeros.
down?
So you're not using anything technological, which is good.
No.
You
Is it?
aren't used to fighting on a rocky shoreline. You
Or
go
running
to
up a fish, I suspect.
you feel victorious from breaking its horn as you try to get your footing off the rocks. The rock slides away under your feet, causing you to shift and hit into the fleshy side of the whale in face first. Into the side of this narwhal orca. Which shoves you back with its shoulder. It felt like hitting a mix between like leather, like a thin leather wallpaper on top of granite, or just dense, like the densest muscle. There was a thin layer of blubber you could tell for insulation, but right behind that is muscles that could tear other sea serpents in 2 pieces.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. We're good. Just.
All right, and then you go face down into the water. You are now fully soaked, if you weren't before.
That's fine. Can live with that.
All right, Cecile.
Oh no.
Fine, you're fine.
So Rainier ran up. Where did Rainier basically end up compared to the rider?
Rainier ended up in the water, kind of at the base of the beast.
Okay.
The rider could reach down and attack them.
Shit. Oh. And I took off.
You're not far away. You might be even a little close. Could be a problem in its own way.
I can always be a problem. Till I'm
Can
built
confirm.
Trying to think of what kind of problem I want to be. Does the writer look like the attention is towards Rainier now, or is it more towards
The attention is currently on Mercy, or Adelaide,
or Adelaide?
Hello.
Okay.
who has come up and jammed a psychic sword through bits of the armor.
I jumped up and said hello.
So my
Given I don't actually know how big the back of this whale is, so I don't know if I'm still up there, if I had to like kind of go up there, ting tang, and then like fly back down again. But
There's no footing for you up there, is the problem.
okay.
It's
So yeah, so
big
imagine
enough,
it was
but
like a passing kind of attack then.
yeah, there
I'm
is
like
no.
I'm next to the whale, but
Yeah.
it's like
what's in a survival pack?
I mean, we could look it up, but what do you want? What do you need it to be in there?
I'm trying to think of something where, like, Sasir can kind of control the narwhal in a way where it won't, I don't know, go back under the water or anything, like try to keep it distracted as much as possible. So I wasn't sure about trying to lasso what's left of the horn and trying to, like, lead it, or...
You can attempt
Climbing
to.
kit. Climbing
Yeah.
kit with cord, Eton's hammer.
Yeah. It is a thin MDC cord. It is not quite durable.
Ooh, a two-person tent.
But you do have the essential 50 feet of rope in a way that won't just snap as soon as this thing shakes its head once.
Okay. Yeah, if it's even gonna, like, potentially buy time.
You can try.
So we're gonna try to do that.
All right, make
We're
a
gonna try to
targeting
yeehaw
roll.
narwhal.
Do you have targeting?
Targeting is not a skill in this game.
Okay, it's athletics now. That's right. They just because throwing knives and lassos and shit. They used to have a lot of rules for lassoing shit, as this game is based off of Deadlands, which is
Right, of course.
so.
That makes sense. Trying to see if I have
Yeah,
anything that helps.
I think athletics usually covers anytime you want to
Athletics
throw
will
something.
cover. Yeah, athletics is now targeting is now covered in athletics.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Yeah,
and make
I don't see anything else that would help me, so I'm just gonna roll the athletic roll. 19.
19. All right. For
19.
some reason, you just perfectly hook the remainder of its horn. You get it tied around the horn and snug on, and you pull it tight, and it kind of gives a little. You are not supernaturally strong, though.
I can.
Is there a tree or a larger rock?
Um,
So I could just Looney Tunes this shit around a tree or something.
Here's the thing: you get the feeling that if you put this rope around the tree, that tree's coming down.
On the other hand, I was gonna say, it's like, you could ask me for help. I'm pretty strong and I can get stronger.
Yeah.
You're
have a feeling.
distracting the guy from shooting
And
Rainier. So
Rainier will be fine.
You have a feeling that when this thing goes, it will now have to deal with either you or the rope. You only have time to hook it around the horn. You don't have time to anchor it to anything yet. All right,
I don't have any explosives left. I'm saying.
that's on you. Adelaide.
Do I have any explosives left? I do not. I don't carry explosives, sadly. I really should, but it feels
have-
very unbecoming of a paladin.
I have
Um,
drone bits.
That's true. Right, I forgot about the guts of the drone.
Yep, that's what I have written down.
Okay.
I'm gonna think.
Yeah, I do like this idea of, like, trying to mess with this thing. Oh, right, my smite ticks down. Boom.
Cecile, for a moment, like when she like lassos this thing, is shocked that it worked, and then has that moment where the thing starts moving, and she's like, "Oh shit!" and just realizes.
Yeah, your
she's,
feet
like-
get dragged a bit as it starts to pull at the.
And she does that thing like that some cartoons do, where she like puts it over her shoulder and tries to like walk back the other side of the beach, but her feet are just going, and just making little like trenches.
Ruts. Yeah.
This is
trying
completely
real
on
hard.
me. This is completely on me. I forgot my smite damage last round. I need to keep that in mind. Because it is important to have. Because it's +4 right now, which is a lot in this fucking game.
Yeah.
Okay. I could attack this dude again. On the other hand, there's a part of me that's like, maybe Sasir has the right idea, and what I should instead do is try to go take out the legs of this giant fucking thing and, like, knock it over. So if I, like, tried to... what do the legs of this thing look like? It's like,
Tree trunks.
I was gonna say, like, does it look like trying to trip this thing is on its face a fool's errand?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then...
It has the limbs of a sea serpent.
Okay,
Like-
well... Crapple Doodle Day. Then I think, for the moment, what I'm gonna do is try to focus on subduing this guy, because as my compatriot said, I am kind of keeping them distracted from like reaching over and just stepping on poor Rainier, which would be bad for my friend. Um, so yeah, let's stick to that plan then. I'm gonna go ahead and fucking go all out. And I'm gonna declare a multi-action. I'm gonna attack this fool twice, which means I'm going to attack this fool 4 times.
Yes.
So this will all be at a -2.
Mhm.
So let's start there. Let's yeah, as I glance out the corner of my eye and I see like my friends like I got it. So and my other friend's like on the ground over there. It's just like glance, do the little spin with the sword and kind of hunch down and like lock eyes with this guy and you're pretty good.
So you don't see eyes. There's
Oh,
you don't see eyes. You see crab. What's the helmet look like? Yeah, I think I described it as having kind of like a. Well, there's clearly a place where eyes are, but if this is a dude who spends time underwater, it's fully, airtight and opaque. Clearly, he can see through it. But there are several layers of fisheye between you and him.
I
But
realize I should.
if you go to the chat and scroll up a little, you'll see what it looks like.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Would you categorize this guy as being supernaturally evil?
No.
Okay, good. Or bad, whatever. It's just something I realize I need to keep track of. Is when
Mm.
I'm fighting things that are supernaturally evil, it matters. Anywho, then instead, I don't look him in the eyes. I just look at that mess, and it's like, whatever the hell it is you're doing here, I'm not gonna do it much longer, and jump at this guy, and then roll some dice. So let's roll this and see if it. Yeah, good. I can add my modifier here. Boom. Neat. That's a
That's a
16 and
16.
a
That's a
1.
hit with a raise.
Like that. Okay. Do you want me to resolve damage before going on to the other rolls, or
No.
just get all the
Get all the
get all it?
well, get your third attack in, get your first action in, and
Okay.
then we'll move on to your second action.
Okay. So this is my first attack, and its frenzy goes badoop, badoop.
A 6 is not
That
enough.
one's a 6. So yeah. So 6, a
Um,
1, and a 6.
So that's a hit with a raise once.
Okay.
So go ahead and apply your stuff, your damage.
Rolling some damage then. Ha 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 ha. And then this is +4. I will remember this time. Ha ho ha he. I'm sorry.
How is that a 0?
How is
Something
that
went
zero?
wrong. What is happening with this system?
I see what I did. Nope, I see what I did. I see
Oh,
what I
there's a
did.
null
Please
value in there. Okay.
Yeah, please stand by. I goobered that up. What I actually rolled then would be was it a 5, a 3, and a 5 plus 4? So 10, 13. 13 plus 4 is 17. I rolled a 17.
And AP6, that's a hit with raise.
Sick. Which that makes you now roll my other 2 attacks.
He will spend a Benny to soak this.
Gotcha. That
Uh,
butthole. Just because you're wet doesn't mean you should soak, dick.
He's gonna spend another Benny. There we go.
hate
He
when buttholes
brings it
soak
down
skin.
to only a single wound.
Eat.
Because it would have been 2. He goes, fallen cyber knights are all the same, just killing whatever I come across.
Wait, what? She says as she rolls her next 2 attacks.
Oh yeah, roll your next 2 attacks.
These are also at a -2, so that's a 3 and a
3
negative
and a
1 on the
negative
wild
1
die.
is neither of those are gonna hit. Do you want to go for
And
the
my-
third and then
yeah, no,
decide
my-
whether you're gonna roll?
Yeah, my frenzy goes, and my frenzy all the way.
Is there another null value in there? No, it's a 2
No, no,
minus
no,
2.
no.
Okay.
I just rolled really fantastically poorly on that second set of rolls there. Bruh. I think so yeah, as what's this guy fighting with? What's he armed with again?
He is armed with what looks to be some kind of trident rifle.
Oh,
Made of coral. It looks sharp and like it's got a piece of it that fired the blast that at Sasir. And the other hand is a massive crab claw.
Okay. So I'm wailing into this guy then with it. Yes, exactly. It's
Mhm.
Hmm.
and he's yeah, sparks or I don't know, coral chunks of it are flying off as we're like trading blows back and forth, and I'm guessing I get like I land some kind of a solid hit
Right
as he's saying
into
that.
the under, like, you crack part of the coral and you can see underneath is a thin, like, lightly armored diving suit.
Mm. I think like I hit and like we see with like my own helmet, I'm like gridded with like the visor down, and like I do that, and then there's just a
Oh.
my face falls. But like, wait, what?
No, you crack off a piece of the armor and then you can see his abs. That's what happens. You
Okay.
can you crack off the chunk here and you can see that there is blood, and but you can also see that there is human underneath this stack of coral.
So I've
Hmm.
made him sexier.
Hmm.
That's good. By hurting him. That's good for him. But yeah, there's grim determination in this like flurry of blows until he says that, and then there's just like a after crack. Wait, what? And then it goes to the next initiative order.
Yep. Which is enemy 2, which is him. He's going to just come at you hard with the claw.
Fair. I
And
probably have this coming.
the claw. He knows he can't disarm you, so he's not going to try that.
So he's welcome to try.
A classic move he would do, but not this time.
I'll just unthink it from one hand and then think it into the other hand. What's up, Dick? I do that for free. I trained in the mountains, asshole.
All right. He's coming at you with this claw twice.
Ooh. Well,
Actually,
Mr.
no.
Multi-action.
Hold on. Yeah, he's gonna multi-action attack you. He has to roll to unshake first.
Ah, yes, that's true.
That is a
Shake, shake.
D8.
Shake, shake, shake.
He will spend his last Benny to get a 1.
Haha!
He's
Eat it,
unshaken,
nerd.
so he only gets 1 action.
Hmm.
Wait,
And
he rolled a 1.
what's that?
He rolled a 1. How's he unshook?
He's not unshook. You only get a
Oh,
single action if you're shaken.
I didn't think you got any actions if you were shaken.
Well, let's look it up. I think you
Free
get to
actions,
do
I believe.
1 thing. Damage, flying, range attacks.
Shaken. Here we go.
Only take free actions. Okay, such as moving.
Yeah.
All right, then he's going to use his free action just to get into the water. You will get an attack of opportunity, essentially, as he moves out of your melee range and dives into the water.
Actually so thrown by what he said that I kind of just let him go. I don't press the attack on him. I'm just sort of like, wait, no, we're nice people. Wait, kind of is what's rolling through her head right now. So no, she is in her own way shook.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's all he gets to do is he dives into the murky, murky water. He doesn't get far as you can tell, but no one can see exactly where he is. Part of the reason they're good at what they do.
He goes into the water, or he and his mount go into the water.
He goes under the water.
Got it.
The mount is going to fling Sasir as far as possible.
Tiny little raccoon friend.
Actually, no. The mount is going to attempt to stomp on Rainier, and then, ignorant of Sasir, is going to also flee.
Cool. Bring it.
Whee!
Fuck me
All
up,
right.
fam.
All right, this thing has a lot of strength. I think I only rolled a D. I rolled a D10 for this thing's attack. All right.
How dare you shoot my dog? Immediately abandons dog.
No, he healed
Dog
the
with
dog.
the
Actually,
shark.
Oh yeah.
You can't. You can still see the shark dog has the green glowing algae on it and it starts to move a bit. It is in fact NPC 2. It starts to dive under the water as well, in the same kind of southward or northward direction that
Yeah.
he did.
I was also completely teasing. Like it's
Yeah, but
totally
no, I
fine.
forgot to mention that the dog does get an action, and it is moving to retreat as well.
Gotcha.
But enemy 1 is the orca whale, which is attempting to stomp. And what's your parry is a 6?
8.
Oh, your parry's an 8?
Yep.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't hit it with a 6 minus 2. Okay. And then it's going to leave your immediate range, so if you want to take a swipe at it, you can.
Oh, yeah, definitely. See. God damn it. I guess not.
All right, you swing and a miss with a 2 and a 0.
Wow.
As you attempt
Damn.
to... The thing
This
is,
is
your
nice.
claws... You're
Yeah.
counting on the cold of your claws to like slow it down a little. This thing seems like it's used to cold. And kind of stomps down, and you roll out of where it stomps and uses where it stomped to kind of kick off into the water. Sincere,
Wee.
the rope suddenly goes tight now.
Oh
or
boy.
You've tightened the rope a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You are getting launched with this thing unless you make an athletics check at a -4 because you're not supernaturally strong.
Okay.
Supernatural strength matters
Oh.
because you can't punch through a tank like this thing can.
Nope. No, it can't. I can maybe hack a tank, but I can't.
Can't hack an orca narwhal.
Damn.
The hell I can't.
And
Not
they
with
got
that kind of attitude, you
4.
can't.
All right. Strangely, this is enough to jam it up. You get the line kind of hooked around some bits of old building. It drags about 30 feet before it hits an MDC pole. Where you get dragged for a bit and then you catch it on the pole and happen to yank it around, kind of anchoring it. The pole's doing a lot of the work here unless you let go. Your hands hurt like hell as you hold on to this thing. You can feel the cord rubbing against your gloves. The friction is a lot.
Just a moment of like, Adelaide!
But everyone can see that the line is where the line is, and it is in the water. And this is about, I think I looked it up, and it's like a 30-foot deep section of the water, not that far from shore.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's a deep river. And it's maybe not 30 feet, I think it might have been 20 here. And this thing is swimming hard.
Mhm. The pole's just kind of like groaning against all the pressure.
Yeah. All right.
I think would it be feasible that at some point, like, Sasir could be using, like, the fact that the rope's pulled as tight as it is to have, like, both feet on the pole and she's, like, sideways, like a flag?
Absolutely.
That's
Oh, yeah.
absolutely happening.
Okay.
Just straining.
Oh,
are-
buddy.
It looks like they're moving away. Are you continuing to pursue, or are you stopping?
I think I literally am not allowed to chase down foes. I think that's part of my programming.
I think you can chase down a foe who is a danger to others.
Well, okay, to be fair. I would have to double check the code, but
This sea monster is a big sea monster. We'll just deal turn order.
well, I mean I am one person in the
Yeah.
There are 2 other people who also have to answer this question. So,
I will say that Sasir is waiting to see what the order is at this point. 'Cause
Cecile, you
she's
got an
not
8
sure.
and you don't get a new card for it. So, yeah, that's the order. The order is up. Ryo is still on the list, though. Caden is not here. So, enemy 1 will act first, and then Cecile.
Okay.
After Rosa shoots at the lemur again, but the lemur is also moving away.
I pulled a 5. Man, Adelaide's slow on the uptake this fight. Just like, what's going on? I don't understand.
You're
We're the
out on
big
the-
guys.
You're out on the river. You got knocked to the shore. You're wet.
Yeah.
You're cranky. It's cold.
People are telling me I'm the bad guy. I don't know how to handle that.
All right.
People have been telling you the bad guy like everywhere we go.
Well, I thought this time that maybe we were doing a good thing. I'm very confused, and frightened.
I used to being
Enemy
told the
one
bad
is
guy
going to
been
just
like 8 times.
the narwhalka is going to slash at the cord with a 10 that explodes. The cord goes limp
Oh, shit.
on the
Oh
other side.
no. Gravity engages.
This flag's about to go down.
The flagpole does, when there is no longer tension, start to go back a little bit.
And all my weight's on it.
So go ahead and
Oh.
make me another evasion.
Love it.
Fantastic.
So good.
That's what, agility?
Athletics. Yeah. Or it is an agility roll, but I'll take your athletics, but succeed.
Okay.
So you succeed in getting the pole does start to fling back, and you use the fling of it to kind of propel yourself, and you land in a skid, sliding backwards.
She slides back. It looks real cool for like a hot second, and then she just stands up going, "Ow, ow, 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 ow," because it's like her hands are like hot from all the tension
Like-
from the rope.
Yeah, your gloves have like a definite like line on the top and the bottom. Your hand feels pinched. Your rope is suddenly 3 feet shorter as you reel it back into the case. Yeah. Cecile, you're next. Rosa doesn't know what to see. Rosa doesn't see much here. But she's still got her pistol out, looking like she's looking for something to shoot at, but doesn't see anything.
Cecile, after having like gotten the rope around, not quite know what to do, thought of a plan. Narwarka escapes. Shit, that plan's gone now. And then gets launched. Seeing that the enemies are gone, from what she can tell, she's gonna run over and just try to help Rainier. Since the last time that she saw them, they were like in the most danger.
Gotcha.
Both of us.
So you can hold your turn in case anyone tries to attack them or anything. You can intercede. Okay.
Okay.
Sound good? All right.
Yes.
I'm going to roll a thing.
Oui.
What did I roll before? D8. Another D8. What's that? That is a 7. Okay, good to know.
Yay.
Yay! Someone made an unshaken. Yeah. Rainier, you're up next, actually.
Okay. So there's literally nothing in our view to attack right now.
There is nothing clearly in your view to attack. Give me a notice and you might get more.
Okay. No!
Now, 1 and a 0.
Not a natural one, though, so at least there's that.
Yeah, that's fair. You did roll a 2.
That's true. You got a 2 and a
Whee!
1, which led to a 1 and a 0.
Yeah. As everything kind of is out of the reach of, Rainier can't see it, and it's out of the reach of their claws, they're actually going to kind of take a few steps back from the shore. And there's actually, like, the slightest bit of blood, like, seeping out of from behind the ice armor. And just kind of, what the fuck was that? I don't think I can fix myself, so that's pretty much it for me.
You can make an untrained medicine check, but you're bleeding, but you're not gonna bleed out.
No.
I have good news on that front. Don't even sweat it, fam.
Yeah, you might want to make sure you don't get an infection, but that's fine. You're gonna hold as well, Adelaide. It's up to you.
Hey, I'm up. Yeah, there's like I hear the question from my compatriot, which is kind of what like snaps me back from like looking out at the water, going, "What? What? Shit!" And like turns on her heel and runs, like coming to a sliding stop at Rainier. And like my hands like move toward like I assume there's like blood just in your midsection somewhere, I presume. Uh, like
I
I
got
see that look.
skewered.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one thing you can actually see, and it's the lemur looks like it's trying to hide behind the trees, but it is
Cool.
noticeable, as
Cool
though it
ratting
failed its own stealth check.
and also good. But like just as quickly as they manifest, both the sword and the shield, just like softly explode into these little fine points of light, dissipating into nothingness. And like as my hands move through them, it's like it's almost like pushing God, what are they called? Like fireflies out of the way. They just kind of wisp around my hand, which we see well, we're used to like those pulsing lines of blue energy down those Tron lines on the armor. Instead, this time, like all of the lines on the gauntlet sort of light up simultaneously, and the palms in particular get really bright as I just like sorry, personal bubble, I know, but then I just like grab at where the wound is on your tummy there, and I am going to let's see how many points do I got to spend to cast healing? 3. I'm gonna burn 3 more power
ISP.
points.
Yep.
Yeah, ISP. And we're gonna cast healing. Actually, wait, what else can I do with healing? Yeah, poisoned, are you? Fantastic, good.
No. Not that you
Uh,
know of, and no.
ha ha ha! Ha, I roll a 5.
All right, that succeeds. What does that
So,
do? You
healing removes wounds less than an hour old. A success removes 1 wound. A raise removes 2. The power may be cast additional times to remove additional wounds within that hour, as long as the healer has enough power points. So,
Cool.
this
okay?
will, on a success, alleviate your woundedness.
So erase your wounds.
Not cheap, but I can do it.
The light suffuses your being a little bit. It feels a little tingly.
Yeah.
It's psychic, so it's a little different than like magic, but you know the end effect of a healing spell when you feel one. You've been
This
healed
is
a
not the first
number
time
of
I've been
times.
healed by Adelaide either.
True.
As this is a function of my armor and not inherent to Adelaide, it might be magical because I think my armor is
Oh, your
TW.
armor is magic. That's right. So yeah, it is magical. But you've
Okay.
felt this before.
You would know Cyberknight better armor than I would. I think it's magical.
PW armor is magical. Yeah.
Okay.
Techno wizardry.
Yeah.
So, the river's strangely quiet. The sound of the tide lapping up against the shore and the hull and the somewhat broken hull of the boat. Rosa says, I don't think she's seaworthy, or I don't think she's riverworthy.
Does it? Do I also think it looks that bad?
It looks like you're gonna need to spend some time patching this up to
Mm.
even get it to float,
Mm.
and then to move with any speed where there might be an enemy still in the water. Rosa doesn't look like she wants to get back on the river as soon as possible. Well, she looks like she wants to get back on the river as soon as possible, but maybe not in this boat.
Okay.
I turn to Rosa and like the helmet comes up on the visor as I just kind of awkwardly jab a finger out towards the water. Is that new? Is he a new? That's not.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, same. Talks. He talks. He talked to me. He was very not happy with
Weird
us.
accent.
You know, I was thinking that too. Is everybody okay?
Cecile comes, like, you hear a crunching of rocks, so she comes hurrying over. Kind of staring at all the blood on Rainier. It's like, are you okay? And and there's like,
Here we go.
you can hear it through the mask that she's like, almost like sniffing inside the mask. Just kind of instinctually.
Oh yeah, because while the wound may be closing, my mask doesn't do shit for the blood. The blood's still everywhere.
Yeah.
Whatever. They're usually covered in somebody's blood. It's just this time it happens to be theirs.
She's doing a lot of like checking and then like looking up at Rainier, just like, and looks very worried. Because her goggles are up, so you can see her eyes now.
The armor just kind of starts to like. Actually, I don't know if they would take the armor off yet. They're not sure.
Oh yeah,
if-
tink tink tink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still on the shoreline.
Yeah.
She says there's enough of the old bridge that we might still be able to cross back to PA, back to Philly side. But otherwise, we're probably gonna have to wait out here for the night.
Rainier's gonna pick up the end of the narwhal horn.
Yeah.
And just kind of like twirl it once in their hand and just kind of hold it towards Adelaide. Now, like, I'm not giving this to you, just kind of like a professional, this is a hell of a weapon kind of holding it out and just going, well, this did some nasty damage.
The only problem is it doesn't have a good handle right now. But, you know, maybe you could work on that if you want to later.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah,
I broke
did.
that off. That's mine now.
It's certainly yours if you want to keep it, although I'm a little worried about the owner. Rose is white. We should absolutely stay off the water, and unless we... And I'm turning towards Cecile with this very, like, kind of look in my eyes, like, unless there's a way we could get that boat running very quickly?
I mean, she like looks over at Rosa.
You would need a lot of light to work on it properly. Well, you wouldn't need
I
a lot
don't.
of light to work on it. But you are not a boat builder. You've never built a boat.
It's just like, I could maybe work on the motor or anything that's
The motor is a bit janked up and will need some repair. But
I
the
could
biggest
do-
problem is the slash marks through the hull.
Yeah. She's just kind of like, I could do the mechanical things to break up the work a little bit, but as far as that's concerned, she points at like the big slash mark. She's like, that needs a different type of end working on it
Yeah,
than I have.
good point.
I
All right.
don't want to get in their boat.
You know, I'm feeling the same way. All right, so 2 questions then, real quick. First, Rosa, how far is this bridge you're talking about?
About a mile up. Look at my map. Yeah,
About a mile away.
about a mile away.
Mile down the river. All right, and
They used to call it the Ben Franklin.
and then second question, and I pull my rifle around and point it towards the woods. And the second one's directed at you. Hi, whoever's out there, could you not? We're a little on edge right now.
You don't see anything.
Mm.
The monkey-like thing has moved. But you don't know where unless you are making a notice check.
I mean, yeah, like I'm like looking into the woods trying
Give
to
me a notice check against its
Sure.
stealth, which was quite good.
Can we all try that?
Yes.
Evaluate something? Okay.
Oh, that's a hot 11.
Maybe
I don't know if that beats it,
actually
but-
roll
Let's
something.
get the other ones
11.
first.
Nope.
Got a 10
10.
3.
and a 3.
Oh.
None of
Oh.
you see the being, the little thing. It's seems to have taken the moment that you are all looking at each other to kind of assess things and assess the boat to find a better hiding spot. You don't know where it is.
We can't stay here because there's something still out there.
What is
Something
it?
else.
There's the Tales of the Jersey Devil, but thought that would be farther inland. I don't fuck with that superstitious noise.
I fuck with superstitious noise. Do I know anything?
About the
It's
Jersey
fair to say
Devil?
no. I've never been out like this far, but
Roll in the cult.
I absolutely fuck with superstitious nonsense, considering that I sort of am some.
you are superstitious nonsense.
Yeah.
I think
Got
Rainier's
a
the
4
one
on the
that
occult.
4.
All right. You would know that there are a number. Oh, there's the stats for it. You would know that there's a number of things that are called the Blank Devil. You don't know specifically any lore about the Jersey Devil. But glowing red eyes in the forest could be any number of things, or just glowing eyes. Could also mean that lemur, that big monkey, that large-eyed monkey thing. And let's see. So you can identify a number of types of devil that could be here, and you know your best defense against devils is, force and magic. You're not spotting you don't know a specific one to this area, but if you were gonna judge, maybe some kind of a devil that would have leaping capabilities in these this dense forest, probably wings, but also like goat legs for good leaping and climbing and crawling. She tells you about the horns, and you can get it's roughly, I forget what the actual thing is. You're aware of the type of devil that has been, when she describes it, it matches the here. Sorry, resetting my brain. Ooh. Yeah, it resets its mental description of a being upon hearing it, a kind of goat demon, more than an actual devil. And I think goat demon is a full name for a thing. But if you do encounter such a thing, you will have bonuses.
Neat.
You prepare yourself for the sound of a pair of hooves, and also keep sensitive to the sound of wings. There are a number of birds and stuff on this side of the shore. There doesn't seem to be anyone living around here. There's a lot of downed buildings. You see a bunch of ruins here that are mostly overgrown. No one's really come through to try to clear this area for any reason. So the buildings are mostly shattered walls and hundreds of years of the shoreline taking it back.
Yeah. Proper decayed over on this side of the river.
You can see where the old paths used to be, because the roads got fucked up so bad that trees grew in those areas first. So it's sometimes easy to follow the road of trees if you want to head further in to New Jersey. The Camden.
Let's sling the rifle. Yes, let's go into post-apocalyptic Camden. That's a good idea.
So Camden.
Yeah, like before the apocalypse, people keep telling me like
There's a piece of Camden that is nice.
They're
It is
working
the
on
tourist
it.
part. Yeah.
They're working on it.
And Camden is getting better over the last couple of years. It's still not great though.
all I know is every time I'm there, I'm like, oh hey, I could catch a train in like Camden or something, and then a friend of mine's just like hand on shoulder, shakes head. It's like, okay, fair enough. So yeah, so Adelaide's kind of taking this in, and there's like a beat while she's like staring out, and I don't know, maybe hear like there's like insects or whatever, or night creatures just sort of
you're
and
hearing a lot
wind.
of standard night wildlife. You do see a fox at one point running,
Oh, hi.
chasing a vole. There's wildlife over here, but nothing large that you can spot.
No, I'm just setting.
I'm the
that one.
largest wildlife you see right
Fuck,
now.
That is true.
where'd she go? I can't spot her either. Fuck. But yeah, we kind of hear that as I'm like slowly lowering the rifle and sling it again.
You come across signs that say Camden Waterfront Park, home of the Sea Dogs, I don't know what the actual AAA team is there, but it's a bit AAA baseball or AA baseball stadium. And then there's a sign that says Battleship New Jersey pointing off towards the water, and another sign that says Adventure Aquarium. And then you see road signs up towards the bridge.
So,
One
so
says Ben Franklin and points north.
as I sling the rifle, then I just heavy sigh. Okay, whatever's out there, I don't really want us heading further inland. And clearly, the water is, as I indicate towards the boat, not an option. Turn to Rosa. We will get your boat back just sometime when there's a bit more sun and a lot less monster. For
Yeah,
now,
that's salvage is a day option.
for now, we stay between that, as I point towards the tree line, and that, pointing towards the water. We make for the bridge. Everybody okay to move?
Okay.
Mm.
Then let's move.
As you make your way, oh, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, as soon as we start moving, Cecilia is gonna kind of like get up, like next to Adelaide, and just be like, "Did he talk to you?
He sure did.
Because when he showed up, you were busy being over there." As like Cecilia points to like the drag mark that was Adelaide's body at one point. She
Yeah,
goes,
don't remind me.
uh, you said that we shot his dog.
It would appear that we, in fact, shot that nice crabman's dog.
Well, then it comes into it. Okay, Rosa.
Yeah.
Rosa is a local and has
Hmm.
never seen this crab man. So
Where that
but
dog?
that doesn't mean that he wasn't always here. So, what just happened?
Well, for starters, to be honest, I have no idea. Best guess, though? Um, whatever that thing is, and whatever the hell's riding it, and whatever that dog was, big appetites would be my guess. So they arrived. That would explain, why the fish start going away. Uh, we mistake sapient life for sentient life, and pick a fight we probably shouldn't have picked. Turns out. So hey, good news. Maybe we can talk to this guy, but he's gonna need to be considerably more not aquatic for a parlay to go down.
Also, it's like when anybody with training a dog, if you do it poorly, and maybe the dog was just running around and swimming around, whatever, and attacking the boat without knowing that shouldn't be happening, or he
Maybe.
doesn't care. I don't know,
There
but
haven't been stories of boat attacks.
Oh, good point. This was the first. Yeah, it's just that the
And the
fishing
boat-
dried up.
Yeah, the fishing dried up was what you're looking into.
okay.
And it kind of like bumped the boat.
Okay, so it didn't feel like when the bump first started. Because I remember the bump, but I couldn't remember how violent it was.
It was a bump. I didn't talk about like it. There was you saw this thing when it was out of the water clearly had razor sharp claws.
Okay.
There are no small claw marks on the boat.
Okay. Mm,
You've
And
seen
We kind of
friendly
tried
dogs.
to catch it, and then from catching it, it broke real bad.
Yeah. You've seen friendly dogs bump into things playfully, kind of like, hip checking.
so this really thinks about it and thinks about it. Just starts kind of deflating a little bit
Oh,
and like curling in a little bit on herself as she's like walking and just like, we may not,
that arm goes around like a big metal clunky just chunk arm goes around your shoulders, just pulls you in a bit as we walk. I would love to say that I myself certainly, but we as a group are infallible in our pursuit of not being really, really in the wrong in a given situation. But it happens from time to time, and I mean, the guy's dog did get it back up and swim around, much like Rainier here, who's back up and swimming around. More things in heaven and earth ratio. Is it just kind of like, huh?
So Zero like turns and looks at Rainier. Do they still have the ice armor up?
If we're leaving the shoreline, it
It'll
would
last
just
for
kind
a
of
while.
eventually crackle and just like fall away. So there's a nice little like hole through that nice shirt that they wear. And it's just kind of a big blood stain around it, but they're just kind of walking alongside of you, looking around like nothing happened.
Doesn't that hurt?
Not enough to worry about.
I
Adelaide
like
took
flex
care
my
of it.
glove and under my breath, I'm just like, freaking better not.
Oh, it still aches, but it does not seep or bleed.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a really weird question because I'm an animal partly in this. Does Rainier's blood smell weird to me?
Our blood makes your nose feel a little funny. But it dries normal. As though there is a bit of magic that kind of sublimates upon exposure to not the body.
When I was up close before, when the armor was up,
Yeah.
she'd been like kind of looking at the wound under the armor. Would she have noticed anything like weird?
Give me a notice check.
Excuse me. 9.
9. Okay, so what do you mean weird?
If it didn't seem like normal, like human, because she knows obviously like some shit is up.
Yeah.
With Rainier, and she
blood?
just there's always like a curiosity there. So if the blood, like, yes, it looks red, but if there's anything that seems a little like different from what she's experienced with like humans bleeding.
Like
Yeah.
blood, for example, smells coppery, is warm, has a stickiness to it, and is
Yeah.
red.
The
Does
thing
it
is,
not fall into any of those categories?
it does have a stickiness. It is red. It is coppery, but with a hint of ozone,
Huh.
which you will occasionally get on a ley line. Like the kind of same, it bugs your nose on a ley line sometimes. And dog boys often have a problem smelling anything on a ley line because the smell of magic is so strong. You kind of get a little bit of that. The blood does not flow as quickly as though it is cold, and the blood is not warm, and like you've seen people be wounded in the cold, and there is steam escaping as the temperature difference. That is not happening here. Or that was not happening here at all. Normal body temperature for Rainier is subhuman.
So it is slurpy blood. Got it.
We do not slurp our Rainier, we do not slurp our
Slow
friends.
flowing, smells sweet, sort of out of order all the time, whatever.
Yeah, there is
Cherry cola
a
Slurpee.
cold sweetness to it. Yeah, we'll say that.
Perfection. It's just kind of like takes all that in for a moment and like harkens back to like the armor still being up, especially if it's cracked away and kind of just is it just in pieces now? Like
It doesn't last long because
It
it's
lasts
a
from-
construct.
Yeah.
okay,
So it kind of like falls away and then just kind of like disintegrates in that like the
It's-
sparkle of like frost and snowflakes, and then almost like it broke and melted very quickly.
okay,
Sort of sublimates.
Yeah.
okay.
It's not in contact with their body anymore, so now it's just kind of ceasing to exist.
So then she's just mainly like under the mask and everything. She's like her nose kind of like flares every once in a while when she picks up on that ozone hint.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, as long as you're okay.
By the way, there is no ley line on this. There is no ley line near you on this side of the river.
Okay. That hit you took was not survivable by a lot of people I know. So good job there, I think. What? How did you survive that? It's just very confused. I'm sure you're dead.
Looks down, just like, I mean, I'm not a doctor. I don't. We're hard to kill. I don't know.
I buy that. Do you buy that? She looks at it like Adelaide and Rosa. Do you two buy that? Because I do.
I don't try
I
to buy
don't know
much of
yet.
anything. Oath of poverty stuff. It probably just didn't hit anything vital, or if it, like it clearly didn't rupture a lung. You're still moving around. Didn't hit the heart. That's important. Probably hit like some stomach and some guts and some things that would have led to sepsis at some point. But hey, magic hands. It's like I clap, like my armor like clickety clicks a little bit together.
That was.
So you get to it fast enough, and
And it
I mean,
didn't
that was.
feel great, if that makes you feel any better.
And Adelaide, that she kind of like points to like Adelaide's arms, where she would have seen like the war happen.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, that's better than any of the bandages that I have in my pack. That's for sure.
yes, no, thank the magics of brain fart of cybernite armor. It's one of the fun parts of the package. Can't do it a lot though. It's I'm still the battery here, but
Uh, that makes sense.
put the hands on,
Okay.
make the glow happen, put the skin back together.
And I guess from now on we just try to do better than we just did for ourselves and for others, right?
Stop walking at that point. It's kind of like stop and like fully turn towards Cecile. Kind of shaken up here. It's subtle, but my keenly honed interpersonal senses have begun to pick up a little bit on. You've got a lot of nerves you still need to shake out from what just happened. You okay?
I don't know if we just did the right thing, and that's strange to me.
Am I
And
remembering correctly that the shark thing came after us?
So not exactly. We were in the boat, and this thing came over and started rocking our boat.
It nudged
We
the
were
boat.
like, "Cool, let's capture the thing. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe we found our beastie." So we tried to catch the thing, and the thing was like, "Nah, not into that," and sort of took me with it. And so Cecile was like, "Oh, my captain," and shot the damn
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
And then that then caused a bigger thing to ass over tea kettle our entire boat onto the shore.
Okay.
So it was a series of escalations that, admittedly, it's listen. We reacted on instinct. We thought there was a monster we were dealing with. We were led to believe that we had very good reason to believe there were monstrous goings ons.
That thing was a monster,
Strictly speaking,
is what Rosa says. Like,
it was monstrous, but not all things that are monstrous are monsters, and not all people do always the right thing all the time, especially when they're operating without all of the information.
listen, it's nothing you can't deal with at confession later, so let's just keep going.
I just like, put my finger at Rose, like, one of the things that I had to learn very early on is that when you do a job like this, it's very, very dangerous. You're going to screw up probably more than you don't. And the best thing you can do, rather than worrying about it, certainly worrying about whether or not you're a good person over it, or otherwise kind of fretting on the problem, is you make amends. You take whatever happened, you accept you're at fault, and then you do whatever you can to try and make it right. And you can't always do that. And sometimes you have to move forward, and what you're making right then is the lesson you've learned from that whole messy situation. And I recognize that I've turned all that into one very pithy little pep talk, but keep in mind, I spent a lot of time on a mountain to get to that place. So I don't expect all of this to really roll into the brain with like the full force of what the Grand Masters could teach me. But what matters is that you recognize what happened and you don't revel in it, you know? You're trying.
I never touched his dog, and he tried to kill me.
Okay, well thank you. That's not helpful right now.
You have what you learned from standing on a mountain, and I have what I learned from living in the cold most of my life. You don't show weakness, winter.
But you know what is a fine point? We should keep moving.
Yes.
The camera pans past the group into a brown furry face popping out of an old building, observing the group closer than the group suspects. With its enormous large eyes and its white and brown striped tail. As the lemur continues to follow the group. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay. That is fantastic. I'm so glad.
Stupid autofocus.
It's so round.
It's such an adorable beast.
It is tremendously. Let's fix that focus. There we go. It is an orb. It is just a fucking sphere. It's great. I love this thing so much. Thank you again.
Yee.
All right, so we're gonna take about 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna stretch our legs, get some water, use the restroom, be humans as much as we are. So we will catch y'all shortly, and we'll be back. Bye.
His glasses.
What kills me, I'm looking at Riley on stream, and the thing behind them is blinking.
It's
But,
neon,
and when you look
so
normally,
it doesn't like
it doesn't. Yeah, it's not blinking.
Neon's
Camera
wild
capture
on
things-
stream.
Yeah,
It really is.
It's
super
it's
depends.
phase.
Yeah,
yeah.
like refresh rates and stuff, and capture.
Syncing. Yeah.
There we
It's
go.
weird.
We're good now. Sorry about that.
All right.
It's a mess behind me.
You all were gonna
Magic
head up to
gathering
the
cards.
Ben Franklin Bridge to cross back into Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
which is about an hour of walking, even though it's a mile because it's bad terrain and it's not a straight line. It is through ruins, through a forest, and unbeknownst to you, you are being stalked by some kind of lemur.
It's vaguely beknownst adjacent. We just don't know what it is, what it looks like, or where it is.
But known stish.
Just that there's something vaguely in the wild.
All right. As you continue through, roll. Someone give me a survival to see how quickly you make it through the ruins.
I call that it.
I will give it a go.
All right,
4.
that's a 4, which is a good rate. So, see, are you rolling to do better, or it's all good?
I can try. See what happens. How much trash do I need off the ground?
Oh, there's trash everywhere. Pair of 4s. This place has been kind of picked through a little bit, but no one's done like excavating here. You can find random cans and bottles easily enough. You can find some personal or tools, like half rusted away, because they've been sitting out in the weather for a couple hundred years. There's things that are just clearly used to be a jacuzzi, but is turned into the base of a tree. Like a tree somehow landed in this jacuzzi and started growing, and then the roots went over the sides, etc., etc. As you start getting closer and closer to the bridge, someone go ahead and roll me a notice. Or all of you roll a notice.
So
Wow.
keep in mind too is
5.
that when we're combining efforts to do a task, we can also support one another.
That
a
is
thing
true,
we can do.
but yeah.
Notice obviously is different, but it just was one of those things that occurred to me. Like, oh yeah, support is the thing. Whoo! Swing and a miss. Adelaide is distracted,
Adelaide is
worried
distracted
about
if
a
you're fucked.
raccoon, and a different kind of worried about the elf.
Sincere is paranoid, and therefore sees more.
You also see really good at night, so I mean,
That is true. You see excellent. I think you might get a +2 at night. I don't remember. Or no, you just don't. You get penalties during the day. That's the.
Yeah, if I don't have my goggles on.
Yeah.
if I had to guess, she probably doesn't take certain light because there's illumination penalties you can take.
Yeah. You
I
just
suspect
ignore
she
them.
avoids those.
She does. And there are other types of optics you can use to give you pluses, but they wouldn't work great for you, to be honest. Anyway, you do notice that you do occasionally see big tracks of some kind of beast with claws, which, looking through, this thing does walk on land occasionally, that sea monster. You do come across some tracks of it as you are coming up towards the aquarium, but it does look like there's been some effort to conceal them. Just not a good effort to conceal them.
They're fresh though.
They're
They seem
not
fresher?
super fresh. They're not from like tonight.
Okay.
But you do notice where like there's a set of rusted cars that look like they've been pushed wide enough for this thing to pass through easily.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tree with a long scrape on it, which you could see was probably from the horn. So this thing has been in the area for a bit. And you continue moving towards the bridge. How would they do this?
I don't like the sound of they.
You hear a click across the radios that says, "Oh, hi. Would anyone be available to talk?"
Is the voice familiar, or is it like a new voice we haven't
It
heard
is
yet?
not the same tone of voice. It is the same accent,
Yeah. Okay.
but this is not the other voice wasn't as nasal as this one.
Upon hearing the voice, Sister's not gonna answer it. She's not gonna like touch the radio that's like pierced in her ear yet. She's gonna turn to the others and go and point at the prince and go, if I had to guess, whoever this is a friend of our new friend.
It's once the tracks are pointed out, I like follow your hand along, like up to where the aquarium is. Oh, this is gonna be awkward.
Oui.
Hmm.
I'm sorry.
Not just your fault. Hi there, you're on Radio Adelaide. How can I help you?
So I think there's been a bit of a misunderstanding, here and there. Just a bit, you know,
Yeah,
lasers and stuff.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that you're with that nice gentleman on the giant long pause thing that came out of the water. We had a little bit of a kerfuffle.
Well, you shot his dog and he got real mad about it.
His dog did attack our
Rainier
boat.
interrupts and goes, "He tried to kill me."
Well, it's after you attacked his dog, to be fair. But yeah, he's a bit hot-headed. I'm not, but I'm not going to go anywhere near you, so I'm using radio.
Completely understand. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
Don't worry about.
Don't worry. Funny name. Nice to meet you.
My name's Nunya.
I've heard this joke before. Thank you. I've been on a mountain. You don't know about the mountain. Don't worry about that. Anyway,
Which mountain? I know a lot of mountains. You can't tell me
you've
I
never
don't
heard
know
of this
mountains.
mountain.
You don't know who I am.
You don't know who I am. You know what? This is
You're
not.
Adelaide.
Well, okay, you
I'm
do
s-
know that much. Admittedly, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yes, I said my name. That's fair, but the mountain's not important.
All right, my name's Bryce.
Bryce, look at that. See, you and I, we are now communicating. We're having a tete-a-tete by the sea. I don't
What's that
suppose the
mean?
thing in the. I thought you said you'd gotten around a lot.
I have, but I haven't heard tent to tent.
It's
Are you like
German.
lining up tents next to each other?
No, it's not about tens. It's a tet. It's a tet thing. You're tetting. I think it's. I'm like looking at you're doing like a help me out here motion with my hands.
It is an expression as she like kind of
Oh, an
like
idiom.
she's kind of
The hell did you just call me?
like
You're using an idiom.
How dare you talk that way about my friend?
that's we an idiom. Correct.
Okay.
Let him call you that.
It's fine. It's like she usually like she'll pinch her ears sometimes when she's like speaking back. You could tell that her ears like are usually up or kind of like flattened under her bandana. Especially as he was talking about everything, you just saw that the bandana go and like deflate.
Well, what are you doing
Yeah, I ask myself that every single day. Hey,
out here
actually,
on the river?
well, I'm gonna. I know it is poor form to answer a question with a question, but perhaps this will illuminate both of us more quickly. I don't suppose you and your friends fish out of this river by any chance?
It's a river.
I
There's
don't,
fish.
there were fish, past tense. Problem is that there's not fish in it anymore.
There's still some fish.
Not a lot of fish. There were way more fish. Now there's way less fish, and we're trying to figure out why there's no more fish in the fish place.
Congratulations. Now you know.
Because you're eating all the fish.
I'm not eating all the fish. We leave enough to keep breeding, maintain schools.
Ah, okay. So that's a good start. Problem is that there's people on the other side of the river. They also need to eat the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you don't leave enough fish for them to eat as well. You see where I'm? You know, like it's like if somebody else came, like imagine you were here. I guess you are here. Imagine you were here though, and then suddenly across the river there were a bunch of giant raccoon people, and they came along and they were like, "Hey, we love fish." I don't know if you actually love fish. I panicked, and let's say that they started eating like way a lot of the fish, and now there's only a small smattering of fish that sure the fish can breed, but there's not really enough fish for you to also eat. Is this tracking at all? Am I making any sense?
I mean, it's a really strained metaphor, but
It's been a really strange night, buddy.
yeah. Well. Anyway,
Is there some? Do you have a manager I can talk to?
yeah, me.
You're in charge.
Yeah, with this mission, yeah.
Oh, okay. Somebody
Sister
else,
comes
please
back
jump in.
Sister
What?
comes back and goes, "How long have you been over here?"
What do you need to know?
It is one of those like which came first, chicken or egg things.
Who are you working for?
She just turns to Adelaide.
It just let's go. That's above your. What do they say? Above your pay grade.
It's
That's
pay grade,
another
it's pay
idiom.
grade. I swear to God, call me an idiom one more time.
We're doing a favor for somebody who's doing us a favor. It has nothing to do with who we work for. But the Fisher people are pissed off because they can't fish. Which is a thing that they kind of do because they're Fisher people. So I don't know, maybe you could just talk to them and work something out because this is starting to get annoying.
Listen, we leave them plenty to eat themselves.
Have you talked to them?
Why would we talk to them?
Go
Work out the
They're-
fish timeshare.
They're over the.
Oh, write that down. Hold on.
Okay, I'm just turns to Adelaide and goes, Adelaide, I'm
We can't
I
kill
don't
them.
understand what's happening here. I'm
Listen,
trying
we have
to
important work we
get
need to
them to
do,
negotiate,
and we're
right?
using this as a temporary base. We'll be out of here in about a couple of months. 2 months.
Temporary. No, man, I guess they could wait a couple of months. That sounds fine to me.
But he said he was still on a mission. Did you say a mission?
Yeah.
Doing what, might I ask?
Well, I mean, you're on the East Coast, so clearly you heard of the Blue Gulf. Right?
We
Yeah,
are familiar.
they suck.
Me.
Well,
Not a fan.
we had a bit of a run-in a couple months ago. And, plan on going back in for some more of the work.
You're sorry. You're picking a fight with the Splugorth.
I mean, it's more like they picked a fight first, but that's
Okay, fair. Yeah, that's
generational kind of shit, I guess.
no. I'm speaking more on the small scale. Obviously, their existence is an affront to basic human decency. As I
Okay,
look
it
left
makes
and
me
right.
feel
No
less
offense.
bad about talking to you. Okay.
No, yeah, they're slavers and horrific, and they need to be put down.
We've killed
But it
some.
sounds
This is true. We have killed them.
Yeah, good. Put you on the board.
why I
Okay.
think what my friend here it's a metaphorical word. I think what my friend here is trying to suggest in their own roundabout way is perhaps that our interests are more aligned than you might think, and in fact maybe we could come to an arrangement that suits everyone involved and would even potentially accelerate your anti-Splugorth mission timeline. I'd
Yeah.
love to talk somewhere that's not darkened outside. I don't know why I'm
What?
smiling. They can't see me.
Why?
Cecir's now like looking around, especially if everybody else is facing forward. He is turned around. Probably sitting on top of like a destroyed car or something.
Give me a notice. Just here.
Oh god.
Yeah, the only thing I
Air
noticed is the
Force.
Nope. It's pretty empty streets, pretty empty buildings, a lot of rubble. There's nothing moving that's, making itself obvious.
Okay, then she's just gonna keep an eye out. This is
Yeah.
usually what she ends up doing when they stop in a place. She just looks the opposite way for a
Goes
while.
on Paranoid Overwatch, yes.
Yep, Paranoid Overwatch is her gamer
That's her
tag.
gag. That's, yeah.
I mean,
Uh,
if you
there's-
wanted to talk,
I mean, we're talking now.
Adelaide has this thing about talking to people in person.
Well, we've got this thing about meeting people that we don't know. And we don't like to do it.
mouth to you. I do not. Like I don't say out loud, but there's just this very indignant. I do not. Making me sound weird.
Listen, we already took care of a scout that was looking in this area.
You took care of a Splugorth scout in this area.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, considering the giant monster, I can understand and appreciate that. All right, you know what? Fine.
we're
We are talking now. No, that's fair.
So we're looking forward to getting out of this freshwater back into the salt, and making sure they don't make inroads into the base of the delta.
A lot of words I would use to describe that water. Fresh isn't really among them. Okay.
Yeah, you're
okay.
from a mountain, you wouldn't know.
So here's the thing. Here's just all right. I was hoping that maybe we could like discuss this like sitting down at a table with a roof and lights in some place that's not out here with bugs and mud and whatever. And let's just shout towards the tree line and whatever you are. Excuse me. But and I plug down into the mud. But if this is what we're going to have this discussion, this is what we're going to have this discussion. All right. What I am proposing is perhaps a kind of work exchange thing, right? Like, hear me out here. You folk don't want to be here. And my friends, plural, I like start to gesture towards Rose and then like very quickly gesture to across the river again, as if they can see me. Friends would rather you were also, they would rather have their fishing and making and that whole situation. So it seems to me that like if we could maybe move ahead your mission timeline, everybody wins in that regard. So what if I and my two compatriots here lend our considerable talents to your cause, and then you can fuck back off to the ocean, and I can fuck back off to my mountain, and then the nice river people will be happy. Everybody wins, except the Splugorth, who dies screaming, which is really, I feel like, what we all want, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, do you have a lot of special talents in calving whales?
And caving whales?
Calving.
Cavilding? I'm sorry, what?
Giving birth.
I really should have taken speak languages. No, I don't. I can't have children. I'm not quite sure where this is going.
Is that what you're doing here? You're breeding whales?
I wouldn't say breeding. It's more the end result of it, really.
Walk me through the process here.
So-
Why are...
No.
Okay.
Why would I give you secrets like that?
It's... So I can take them back to the mountain. I don't know what you want from me. Listen, I thought that you guys were here to fight Splugorth. What does it have to do with whale fucking?
First of all,
Just leans into Adelaide and goes,
Weird.
Adelaide, I think that might be the things they ride. Seen a picture of a whale. It kind of looked like that. Less legs.
Oh god, you're here because you're growing more mounts. Raising more mounts. You don't grow things that... I mean, they grow, but... That's why it's taking so long. That's why you're going to be here for a couple more months.
Well, you don't take babies into battle. You have to wait till they're a couple years old at least.
We'll come back to that.
it's not a problem for us. Don't worry about that.
So you can't... what you're telling me is that you can't... There's nothing we can do to, like, push up this hole. Make the hole... Go beat up the Splugorth situation. You can't do that sooner because of the whales.
From what I can see, you're a cyber knight, some kind of stabby person, and some kind of fuzzy person, and a lady with a gun. So I don't think there's much you can do to help.
Begs to differ. If you know what a cyber knight is, you know I'm really quite capable. Fuzzy is deeply underselling my good friend here, and I mean, yeah, Reindeer's pretty much a stabby person, but a very good stabby person.
Yeah, well, I've seen the results.
I mean, how
Not
many people
complaining
do you
about
know can
the skill.
break the horn off one of your mounts?
That is true. We do have a horn.
I mean,
They have
it's
a horn.
difficult, but it's not impossible.
But I also noticed that you kind of didn't answer my question. You sort of dodged around it. You did a little, like, step turn, like, some Wing Chun shit just happened where you just, like, deflected my question.
Unless you have some kind of immense magical battery, there's not much you can do for us.
We might be able to... Probably.
Yeah,
Cicera like goes through her pockets and like pulls out little drone bits and is like looking at them and then looks over at Adelaide and Rainier and just starts like kind of like when you're squeezing someone's head from a distance. She starts like lining parts up of the drone bits with the two of you, just trying to figure out if she can make a magical battery between you guys and the drone bits. And then going, no, and just putting it back. And then going back to like looking around but like listening very intently in what's going on
Yeah.
in her ear.
Hayden kind of went back to his home dimension.
There's a whole... all kinds of stuff. Just
There's
wait, point, then points
there's
towards
a
Philadelphia.
There's a whole
And-
city full of people.
And
Yeah, those techno wizards, they're a bit weird. They're dangerous for folk. They are unfriendly at best. About the Susquehanny.
Rainier, help me out here.
Rainier,
I
what
thought
about
I was helping. Why not
what
helping?
about Kari?
No, you were helping. I was just giving up. Sorry, what was that, Sincere?
What about Kari? You
Or
think
could
Kari could
probably
help?
make a magic bag.
Isn't if Kari is one of those Penn University City weirdos, we don't want anything to do with them.
No, she's fully imported. Sincere,
She's
go,
very,
please, God.
very opposite of a weirdo, I promise.
Very opposite of those kind of weirdos.
She's extremely capable.
A
I say,
delightful
not
weirdo,
technically lying.
and I will say that, yes, I may look, just small and fuzzy, but I am very capable of fixing things. I may be able to offer a service here.
Also,
At least take a look at things.
No. Can't risk it. And you'd know things and they'd try to pull them out your brain.
oh, I hurt one of those too.
We heard a lot of people in our line of work, to be
It's
honest
like-
with you.
Wait, hold on. And she's not answering on the radio. She's like, what did he mean about pulling it out your brain? Like with a spoon?
No, one of
I also mute.
were those
Well,
one of
if
the
you ever
guys I
get
put through
captured
the
by the
table.
Splugor-
What was he?
Oh,
The guy I
sorry.
put through the table?
Is what comes over the radio.
What did he say?
If you ever get captured by the Splugor, oh, sorry.
Mind melter. You're talking about Rainier. You're talking about the mind melter we ran into.
They do stuff with your brain.
Oh, is that one? Well, none of
Yeah.
us do that, though.
I make like a little
Well,
like
okay. What
motion
if
and kind
we-
of shrug.
How big of a magical battery? Like, and
Are you
Rainier
saying
just
this-
kind of looks
have you turned the radio back on?
around. Rainier's never
Yeah.
turned it off.
And goes,
Rainier doesn't give
damn
a
it.
shit.
"So,
God damn it!
Good.
we'd have to be able to supply about 50 PPE a day. It's not nothing.
No, that is actually quite a lot.
Okay.
For reference, I generate 10. I suspect you're in a similar capacity.
I think 9.
It's 10. It multiples of 5.
I-
But you
Oh,
might
it's,
have.
oh, mine
permanently
says,
been
oh,
rushed.
something got fucked up then, because mine said 9.
Oh no, you got it is 9 for you because you got them from the tattoo.
Yeah.
Your magical tattoos give you extras in.
Oh, your
Increments
tattoos
of
and your
one.
psionics are separate?
Yup.
My
Oh,
power is
neat.
trash.
So yes,
I mean,
a
that
lot.
would really help, but small ones we could do something with. That'd be a big help to us, because the tree don't grow great in the soil. Oh, forget I said anything about tree.
No, consider it gone.
Wait,
I try not to think about the things that grow.
you mentioned a tree and then tried to cover it up.
That
Is there a
what happened.
tree, in our line of sight?
Oh, there's
like-
trees all around you.
Any
But he
that's
said
like...
if trees not growing great in the soil, so clearly it's
That being said, there's something to stop you from going off and looking for a tree.
That
for
bullshit
weird
sandy
trees.
soil.
Yeah, like a
South Jersey.
scraggly dying tree.
give me one more notice check.
I will. Wait, there is.
You can assist. Give me an assist roll.
Oh.
Here. It was 16. All right. Between the two of you,
Shit.
you do see that.
Jesus, 16.
Yeah, you do find what seem to be a couple of what you just assumed to be long burnt out trees, but now that you look at them again, they don't look native to the East Coast. They are veiny, to put it one way. And they are clearly dead, and they're not big. It seems like they grew fast, but did not take. Rainier, give me a occult roll.
Cool. 4.
That gives you these trees were magically growth accelerated. They are not native to the area, and they could work as PPE batteries, but these did not take.
Okay.
You see like a small grove of them planted in a couple of different places. Like, or you don't see, you see one or two of them planted in a couple of different like areas around, but none of them took.
So, again, Rainier does not give a shit that this group figured out what the hell these people are trying to be like. So if we could get somebody to grow your trees better, would that help?
No. Because the trees aren't growing out here. It's not gonna, nothing's gonna make them stick out here. Your sand, your dirt is sand for some reason?
Not my dirt. I'm not even from this.
I didn't
Fine.
vote for it.
Anything.
You're dimensional, we can tell. We're not dimensional, I guess. Going back far enough, we're not dimensional. It's a long story. Anyway, now we've given up on the trees, but we could use a PPE battery.
Saying there's people in there that know more about growing than probably any of you ever will, but
Yeah, and that's probably part of the problem. When you got a secret, you don't want to show it to an expert in growing things.
Okay. Battery, easy enough. We could probably scare that up for you. We also could potentially scare up someone who could grow things very, very magically and very, very well.
We
If
got
we
that
could bring-
covered.
Okay, you don't care about that. But if we could bring one or either or both of these things, would that be of interest to you? And would that help you in this whole Splugorth situation so that maybe we could fish, let the fish be, so you can leave, so you don't have
Well,
to be
yeah,
here
if
anymore.
we get the batteries, we could potentially move up a timeline and
Right.
accelerate the aging process.
Wonderful. Love to accelerate the aging process.
I mean, mysterious process.
This guy, Jesus fucking Christ. This guy gave us his name, as I recall, and
Bryce.
Fox's brain sucks.
Bryce.
Bryce is
Bryce.
a pain in my
Bryce.
ass there. I don't know what
You
that
said it,
means.
and I was like, "That's a good name for this accent. It makes me very happy. Thank you,
It's like Bruce, but
Bryce.
Bryce here.
okay. So first off,
Briny Bruce."
you're terrible at
Brycey
secrets. Secondly, I guess we'll get you batteries or something if you don't want help from the people that grow stuff better than everybody else. Rainier's starting to get flustered because it's just kind of like people do jobs that they're good at, and you get the people that are good at to do stuff. Just like,
Well, how about I get someone who's knows all your secrets, and I ask them to help you, or doesn't know your secrets and ask them to help you. But then they find out all your secrets.
that's literally
like
what's happening. That's
I think this battery
they
situation
don't
sounds
really know
promising.
anything about me, and I'm with them all the time.
Fucking hell, we really don't. But I think it's safe to say you guys aren't going. If we try to go back across the river, you're not gonna like slit our throats or something, right? Like you would rather
Oh,
we weren't
no.
around.
No, I've listened to the conversation. You're not bad people. You just made a mistake.
Yes, you know what? Completely, 100%. And if there's one thing I was just telling a friend of mine, hey, the best thing you can do after you make a mistake is try to make up for it. Do better going forward, and that's what we're gonna do. We're
Yeah,
gonna
you
do
don't
better
owe
out
us
of this
anything.
conversation.
You don't owe
No,
us anything.
I'm not saying that I owe you anything. I'm just saying
Well, you were saying
that.
you were going to try to make amends, but we don't
Well,
need, because we also, he gets a little overheated and anxious, and mad about things real quick. He's got a bit of a temper.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
could have
by
just
the way, I
said,
might
"That's
have
my
stepped in."
dog. Don't shoot at it."
Okay, we won't shoot at your dog. I thought there was more.
No,
They're not a dog.
I'm in literal hell.
literally he could have said to us, "That's my dog. Don't shoot at it," and we would have been like, "Oh shit, it's not a danger to us. We won't shoot at it. Sorry, I guess." Isn't that how that works?
I don't know anymore.
I don't know this. I don't. I've spoken more in the last 2 months than. Let's just go get a battery.
Let's just go.
Why is the bridge also Franklin?
Oh, everything's around here in Franklin, isn't it? As far as we can tell.
Really unoriginal.
It's deeply weird. I agree. if we need to
I
contact
mean, they
you,
like the theme.
they no, so like muscle past that comment. Can we do it on this frequency? If we need, like, if
Yeah,
we're coming
I'll
back
keep you
across,
slipping.
great, wonderful. This has been fabulous. We are going to do what we can and get back to you as quickly as we can.
We'd appreciate it if you didn't tell too many people about us.
Absolutely not. Wouldn't
Because
want to
when you
do.
hear there's giant monsters across this river, they tend to, pitchforks and groups of
Well,
people who don't understand things and get themselves in trouble, and then we defend ourselves, and then
I'm friends with
shit
a
like this
raccoon.
happens.
It's fine.
Cecile puts her radio back on and is like, I understand.
I tend not to
Yeah.
tell anybody anything they don't need to know. We need a battery.
All right then. If you bring us battery, we'll get out your hair as soon as we can.
Lovely.
Sounds good. A good deal. Cecile definitely mutes her shit now.
Give me one more occult roll. Anyone who has occult.
Oh, I do not, so...
5.
5.
4.
4. So, aging magic that would do this kind of shit, age things from like a child to a fully grown like steed, is not something wizards do. With a 5, I'll give you that you have heard of biomancy, which is a kind of life magic. And some say what the Splugorth do is a type of biomancy. But there are ways to do a process ethically and unethically.
Life, man.
You know, the Splugorth used the biomancy to attach magical worms to people's spines to control them. Raising giant sea monsters from 0 to 6 in order to make them battle ready. Less ethically dubious. Because you're fighting against the people that put magical worms on people's spines.
We need horses right now.
Yeah.
Magic. Okay.
Also, the trees. The trees are probably another type of biomancy that's not working in this area for some reason. That would also explain why they don't feel the need to get anyone who knows how to grow things, because they're life wizards, essentially.
Rainier will also switch off their radio and just like look at Adelaide and wait for her to do the same.
Oh no, yeah, it's boop.
That person has never heard of a secret before.
No, I feel like
I just learned
know
more
what-
about them in 5 minutes than I know about half the people I know.
Well, secrets are a lot like money. You can have a conceptualization of what it is and still be very poor about keeping it anywhere safe. We should really find Kari.
We have to go climb the Franklin. Just gestures in the direction of the bridge.
At least we know it'll be safe.
Did we, and like, Cecile kind of looks at Adelaide and Rainier and then looks at Rosa and just goes like, should we get you back first before we do whatever the hell we're about to do?
Listen, none of that made sense to me, so...
no, yeah, first order of business is getting
just
you
help me get
home.
on the other side of the bridge and I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, yes.
But it's pretty late. We probably don't want to go deeper into town this late at night.
Look,
But I should be able to get home fine. Yeah, just right across the bridge will be safe.
Yeah.
The
We'll
gremlins
take
don't
you-
cross the bridge.
Yeah.
And I mean, so far I haven't. I don't think anybody is out here with us, but if you want to keep moving now, it is up to you. Because you know me, I never mind staying up to keep watch.
Yeah, let's go. I'm sorry. She goes, yeah, let's go.
Okay.
It's weird. Those dead trees are spooky. I don't like them.
I,
She does a
mean,
little
Suck
sign
at
of the cross
growing
at one of them.
things.
Oh.
I wonder what kind of trees these are. Where do they come from?
Not from here, that's all I know.
I mean, I assume that all you have to do is just, you know, makes the same environment that they are from.
Draw a
And
picture,
there we go.
ask Lily. Probably have to pay her for that information, but
Is that one of your?
You can take a picture.
I was gonna say, did none of us have a camera?
All of you have basic like if anyone who has optics has a camera. Anyone who has a communicator essentially has a camera.
Okay.
The Nokia 12,000 comes equipped with a front-facing, rear-facing, and side-facing camera.
Swings out rifle. Swings rifle back down.
Good. As we're walking, if we're on our way to the bridge,
Yeah,
have
you're
nothing else
getting
to
to
do
the
here.
bridge. You start assembling gear to make the trek. It's not easy or safe, but you'll be able to do it if you do it slowly and carefully, which this team will do. I'm not going to make you make a series of skill rolls to like jump gaps and make sure things are sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to talk as this happens, that's also cool.
Cecile at least wants to keep an eye out. Still, just because again she's both curious and a little paranoid.
Mhm.
Because she knows the kind of shit that comes out at night.
Yeah.
But she's gonna take the scope from the rifle and use the heat vision on it
Oh,
to try to keep.
at the base of the bridge on the Jersey side, there were a bunch of staked corpses with their heads removed that were just bones. Everyone knows this is what you do to vampires. You stake the corpse and then you behead it and you burn the head separately.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if you leave the bodies, sometimes this is a note to other vampires about what will happen if you're in the area.
So
Has
spooky.
Cecile ever run into a vampire before? Heard of them?
You've heard of them.
Okay, I'm gonna go. She's never run into one because that's funnier to me. And she just
But-
goes, "Huh."
Looking at it, it is expertly done. You do see some bite marks on some of the bones that would indicate crushing jaws. Like the size of some kind of shark dog.
It's just. There's just a very like uncharacteristically cheery. Oh, that's a good sign.
maybe we don't want them to leave.
Sorry, what do you mean that's a good sign?
Like without even breaking stride or like looking at you, just kind of point up towards them. Vampire hunters, handy folks.
Those are vampires.
They were. They're bones now. Thank goodness.
I have only heard of them. I have not run into any. At least to my knowledge. They just kind of. Do they look like. They just kind of look human to her, or are there like features of vampires that stick out?
Since you're working with the Legion, you've had at least the introductory course to here's the random dangers you might encounter. 3 types of vampires. Wild vampires. They look like great, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer running, attacking Nosferatu type vampires. Secondary vampires often look human, sometimes look a little demonic. Master vampires. Do not attempt to encounter Master Vampire alone. You will die. Is the only instruction they gave you. They said, seek help immediately.
So I have a follow-up question.
Yes.
What do the vampires in Buffy the Vampire Slayer look like? Because
They
I
have
never
the
watched
wrinkly
it.
foreheads.
Yeah, a little demonic.
Okay.
Clearly some
You
deep,
just kind
like,
of go like a permanent like
Okay.
like
I
all
have
the
like
time.
9 books right like 10 feet
And
away that I could
But-
grab, but
Okay.
Yeah, they basically
I
I'm
have
they
sure
no
destroy
idea.
Armor
I
us
was
with
Lord,
like,
this.
oh shit.
Armor Lord, throw a secondary vampire into chat if you could.
Ah, I have a soul. I'm an angel.
Do not engage.
Master Vampire means you're probably already dead.
Yes.
Sweet.
They're bad.
Okay.
It's like an agent. You just run.
Okay, so
Oh.
these might be like a little like they look a little weird, like a little not entirely. Well, if they don't wait, the heads are taken off and burned.
Yeah, they
That's
just
how
look like
you
human
kill.
skeletons, basically, is what we're
Yes,
seeing.
but
Staked human skeletons.
the stakes have been put in the heart, in between the rib cage, and
Okay.
like duct taped in place
Oh.
so that it doesn't fall out while you're trying to burn the head, because that can be a problem.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. But this is classic vampire hunter stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, it is as unsettling as you suspect it is,
Yeah.
essentially.
Sister
And you're
doesn't
kind
like
of taking
any
you're
of
taking
this.
our word on it, essentially.
Yeah, and the fact that like she's got that like little like I for some reason I picture it like the when you first start like the Fallout games and there's like that old like 1950s real sounding like I imagine that's what the lesson was like now, so that's what that's doing in my head. But
Paste that.
this is a vampire, like that kind of shit. um, it's just thinking about that and the fact that Adelaide seems very like, no, this is great, and but there's this strange juxtaposition of that's great and looking at skeletons, speared through and everything. She's kind of like, I will take your word for it, as well as everyone else back home, I guess. This is still very disturbing. Is that a warning for the vampires, or is it more of like warning the hunters that they're here?
Oh no, that is very much hey, any bloodsuckers around, your ass is next.
Goodness.
It's also practical. It's I mean,
Um.
take the head off, burn the head, sunlight, stake through the heart. You gotta be thorough with vampires.
So is this And she's gonna like kind of like look from Adelaide to Rainier and then land on Rosa and be like, is this a normal problem for you around here?
Not in the city, but Jersey side. We know there are some, but there's not a lot of people on Jersey side. So they come through. Well, I don't know a ton about vampires, but my cousin said they come in waves sometimes because like someone gets uh makes a whole bunch of them, and then they're like, oh, this is dangerous where we are. Let's go find an easier place to pick, and they like the whole pack moves and then causes trouble. But
I imagine they don't bother you guys as much on account of the whole.
oh yeah, no, our Jesus keeps us safe from vampires and helps with other things.
He must be a good shot. She just like keeps like,
Jesus is an amazing shot.
Jesus keeps us safe from vampires and other things.
And other things, but not as well as he does vampires.
he's a good shot.
Also, my cousin
Together.
Jesus is a good shot. Yeah.
It's okay.
But yeah, as all of you as Adelaide moves a giant piece of sheet metal to cover a hole in the bridge to make it easier to cross. You make your way back to Philly side. It's starting to get towards day. Rosa's like, okay, it's around 3. This is generally when the gremlins start to calm down. So, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go see if I can get some people to help me salvage my boat in the morning. Um, thank you for helping with those people.
Yeah, I guess that is kind of the good news, bad news situation is that we do know what's causing the reduction in your food supply. Unfortunately, it's not a monster, but we are working on it.
He's,
And
we have enough to eat, but we're getting a little lean on stuff to sell. We'll be able to make it.
with any luck, we'll be back in let's say a day or two, and maybe they'll move along. But we're on it.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate this. You can let the Magic Garden people know that I'm gonna say we're good.
Well, we came out here to do something, and don't worry, we're gonna see this through. You get inside a house someplace where it's safe and there's no
Yeah, I'm gonna go
gremlin
sleep for a couple of
vampires.
hours
You
and
should definitely sleep.
try to forget about horned whale monsters.
Good call. Bye bye now.
All right, good night. And she heads down towards
Hmm.
the fisher community. Where are you headed next? Oh, also,
Alright.
now that you're back on this side of the river, give me a notice check, everybody.
Sure.
This is for a
5.
different reason than it was before.
9.
Oh,
17.
okay.
I was really proud of that 9.
The 9 is great. The 9 gets your senses tingling, being like, something's weird.
Proud of that 9.
Cecile, you see a rough outline in the clouds once more of an invisible thing that's roughly 15 feet wide and hovering a little high up in the cloud cover.
Son of a
Fucking thing. God damn it.
Did we ever figure that out before? Like what the hell that was, or just like
Nope.
a invisi frisbee just kind of went by? Okay.
They call those UFOs.
I like invisi frisbee.
Damn. Riley puts us all in our place tonight.
With the truth?
It's out
Are you
there.
call Riley, you calling me an idiom?
Yes.
How far away is it? Is it like way? It's like way up.
It is way up. And it's moving in the same kind of pattern as it was before. You get the feeling this one might be the same thing. Might be the same individual one. And
Okay.
it's not moving like it's moving like it thinks. You with your score being so high, you've seen animals move around, you've seen drones fly. Drones fly very much like jerky motions.
Mm-hmm.
This thing doesn't have a remote pilot. This is not a drone, per se, in that sense. Whatever's flying up there has an intelligence to it.
Oh, great.
In Cecile's experience and like the bit of like kind of mechanical know-how she has, would she assume there has to be a person physically in it piloting it, or would she think that there's an AI potentially in it?
It's weird because you kind of think both are true. Like, it has some of the aspects of automated intelligence in its movements, but it is moving too fluidly and does seem to be interested in y'all.
Okay.
But like, because you're something interesting to look at, not because it's like you don't get a hunger from. It's not like stalking prey, that kind of maneuvering.
Okay. It's just kind of observing
Yeah,
because we happen to be the most interesting thing around here right now.
in its
So-
opinion, is kind of what you get with that high of a notice check.
Okay.
Something I will say too, if I'm remembering my riffs correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong here. And this is something that Cecile would definitely know that Adelaide wouldn't. My understanding is that mechanical intelligences are extremely rare in rifts. Like they don't tend to crop up very often.
There are C-3PO level droids, but they are incredibly uncommon and incredibly janky.
Yeah.
Anything even up to C-3PO's level is basically unheard of.
Which
Um,
I recall when I made my little robot lady, she was one of the things that she took was like, oh yeah, every motherfucker wants to steal you because you shouldn't exist, kind of deal.
yeah, because you have technology that no one has seen before, and they'd love to know how it works.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and then there was when Cecile hacked into that one system, and it was starting to like answer, and it was starting to figure them out.
That was
Like, she freaked out.
advanced. You had never seen anything like that. And
Yeah,
this
she
Forgot about
doesn't
that.
feel
lose
the
her
same,
shit.
though. This does not feel the same.
Okay.
Okay.
So
This
then,
does feel like it has some livingness to it.
okay,
There's a reason. It will all make sense if you ever find out what this is.
yeah.
Though you do think back suddenly to the robot you saw with the fleshy bits and eyes in the library.
Yeah.
That kind of looked like an artificial intelligence with some kind of living thought to it too.
Forgot about that thing too.
Oh yeah, because the fact it was like kind of like hiding around a corner like a small like child.
Yeah, just
Like-
kind of like being like, huh?
Yeah.
You get a very similar vibe from this.
Okay. Then Cecilia just like as they're kind of like walking, kind of goes. So we are being revisited again.
I just slump. Uh-huh.
It is our invisible friends in the sky. But don't think it's a problem at the moment. It just seems to be curious. Which I can relate. But it might be piloted by a person.
We might be able to use that, actually.
Do you
How
think they
good
have
are
a
you with
battery?
radios this year? Oh. Sorry, go ahead.
Do you think they have a battery?
I mean, the actual craft would have some kind of battery in it, but I don't know if it's the one that we need.
That's not just Fox. Adelaide laughs too. Cecile, how good are you with radios?
In what way?
Think we could talk to that thing?
Hmm.
Maybe some kind of like laser communication? Unless that's above my brain's pay grade. GM.
You've heard of laser communication.
Yeah, like I've heard the phrase laser communications, and I know it involves pointing a thing at a thing. I don't know how to do it. But...
You heard.
Good.
We flash back to the Tolkien War when there was a coalition trooper setting up some kind of laser communication device to relay an important message that needed to be disrupted. That your squad took out the laser communication point.
Hey, what's that? Laser communicator? Huh. Flashes back to the, or flashes forward to the
What's that laser communication? Cool, and then you step on it and crush it.
Do I feel like I could hack like the radio wave? Like just
This would
into
be
the
a
transmitter?
science check. This is above repair. If you had one, you might be able to repair it, putting
But
the
I have-
pieces back together.
I have hacking.
Okay, so
Is that possible that it's
you would need to establish a line of communication if it were a computer.
Yeah, this is also under the assumption that it can even receive either radio or laser transmissions.
yeah.
Fox is just kind of throwing out there like a
trying to-
like a spaghetti ball of like.
This
Yeah.
would be a Kari question.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
So then like Cecilia's gonna think about it and she would start like kind of throwing out just terminology that would like make sense if you're like hacking a keypad or hacking a safe or and then she'd be going
nod
on to that, no,
politely.
that's from the keypad that I did back. Oh no, this won't work. What about that time that I hacked? No. And just like I'm sure like Adelaide be getting more and more concerned over time with all the things she's listing out loud. She's hacked.
The time we robbed the bank. The time.
Yeah. So like just quiet, like and then like
The bank.
some words in French Canadian that you might not understand. They kind of stares at the two of you and goes, I mean, if I don't know, you know who would? And she smiles and just like tries to
you.
radio back to Kari.
Cut to. All of you outside the bus if you want to go there.
Yeah, I have nowhere else to be.
All right. That is also a, you knock on the bus door. Kari welcomes you in. The bus has stopped kind of uptown more than, it didn't make it down to South Street because of the rubble and stuff. But you can see that she has taken the copper wires that are running down one of the streets and then kind of spliced another copper wire onto them that runs around in a circle around the velocipede, as though she has laid her own copper wire trap to keep gremlins out of her gear.
Pointed it, and then pointed at her, and just kind of offer this weak, smiling nod as I
Yes,
push
no.
past to go into the back of the bus, like peeling off my helmet as I go, just wordlessly.
So, how's everything going?
Well, we have a couple of things going on right now. First of all, we need a magically powered battery, apparently. But I have a different question for you. Can you hack something by any chance?
I mean, maybe.
There is an invisible flying friend outside. And we would like to talk to them, at least to figure out who it is.
I thought we
It'll
needed a
take
battery.
It'll take me a day to work on the. You want to see them or talk to them?
Oh, I mean, could
'Cause
we?
most of the spells I know would require line of sight for communication.
Could we see them? Well, okay. That's a turns to. We're gonna go. Yes, I brought the battery. This is definitely primary, but this is also
Oh, I thought it was for this. No.
suddenly urgent. Just because this exact same one keeps finding us.
Well, I could.
We
give
need
me-
both. It's a long-term kind of thing.
Give me a couple of hours, and I could put a spell into a viewfinder that I found that would be able to see the invisible, if it's magic or sonic invisibility.
Hooray!
Is that would be helpful?
It might not give you details, but you'd get an outline at least.
I mean, if I can see the whole shape a little bit easier, I might be able to tell what the hell it is. It's
Did you run
It's
across any
intelligent.
jewelry stores? Any places with a lot of gemstones? A watch factory by any chance? No, a watch store? I don't need that much quartz, but I could use a good bit of it.
Probably have some at the Magic Gardens.
That sounds like a place that would have crystals, yes. Okay, so
A lot
I
of
will
running
need
errands.
a clear gemstone for refracting, and an amethyst because I like the colors, a topaz, and well, the amethyst or a ruby and a sapphire, as long as I can create an RGB scale. Oh no, I threw
Adelaide.
blue green. I don't need the topaz. Make it a jade or an emerald.
Adelaide takes the pillow that she's face down in and just pulls it up over her head.
But with those three colors, I should be able to make whatever you need to visualize it.
Okay. This does not bother Cecile in the slightest. She's just like asking for all these like
Hmm.
precious gems and stuff. She's like, okay.
This has nothing to do with what we came here for.
Well, that's not true. That's what will help you see the thing.
But that has nothing to do with the Franklin key.
We don't actually know. I roll over so I'm not muffled. We don't actually know that. We just know that it's very, very interested in us, and we're interested in the Franklin key. So, A to B to C, we're interested in this thing. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't really particularly enjoy being spied on. And who knows, maybe it's a friendly spine. It's just very shy.
It is intelligent. Whatever it is, it moves with a fluidity that's very comparable to a wild animal in the forest. But not in a predatory stalking way. Just a curious way. It's very familiar to me.
I'm not all that alarmed by it. I'm used to things people staring at me.
The while they are invisible?
It's not unheard of. It's considered a little bit rude, though.
Hey, Rainier, here's a thought. Just do it as a favor for me. Like a pretty please with ketchup on top.
The
Rainier's face
museum would probably have some jewels.
Rainier's face screws up into something of disgust and mild pain.
Oh, I have to Google something.
You need to go now.
I'm wet and tired. And I was up all night. Let the weirdos do whatever they want. I'm taking a nappies.
Yes.
Also, I love you two weirdos. You're great. You're amazing. It's your job. Don't take that as a negative thing. It's some of the best people I know are weirdos.
I'm a little lost now, but do you need a battery? Yes?
50 PPE per day.
Ooh. That would be enormous. Or a bunch of little ones strung together.
Oh, just to make sure my notes were right, was it 50 or 15?
He said 50, but you get the impression that less would do. Like, any amount will help. It's just 50 is what they need to do to be out of here soon.
Okay. Okay. I was also making sure I just had it written down right.
What kind of output do you want on that? Do you want a USB? Do you want just a magical stone output on the battery? Do you want just diodes, wires?
Would I know
I can do
how
either.
they would need something to do biomancy?
Something to do biomancy. They wouldn't want any, like... They wouldn't put a USB into it.
No, but I didn't know if it needed,
so
like...
you...
I didn't know if it needed, like, flat pieces of copper on it, or if they can just suck it out.
You're not that familiar with how it all works, but the less technical, the most likely they will live better with a less technological output. So just a raw crystal.
No wires, just make it simple.
I mean, there will be wires, but I can make it simple.
Yeah, they're not plugging it into any... I hope they're not plugging it into anything.
Well, it's magic. If you're plugging it into anything directly, it's going to be I don't know why they would do that. Yes.
They're growing whales.
Why?
Yeah, good question. Rolls over in bed.
Has no one ever heard of a secret?
It's fine, we can trust Kari.
Oh, I have several.
That's besides the... Exactly! She has several that she hasn't told us.
Secrets are bad for your health, they give you wrinkles.
I'm
very tired.
No, they don't.
That's not a thing that happens to me.
Yeah, maybe they give you wrinkles.
Honk shoe.
Is that a request for some kind of magical honking shoe?
I would love my own shoes. Let's go.
Honestly, there's been a lot of going on that I just have no idea what's happening. All I know is everybody's telling their secrets, whether they want to or not. They need a battery for, yes, growing whales, which is why I said it would be funny if it plugged into something.
Put it in the blowhole. That would be hilarious.
That's not where I was thinking, but that would be funny.
Anyway, yes, no, I can do that. So that will take me about a week. To have a series of, I could probably do 20 in a week.
I mean, I suppose we're going to be...
Yes, because I'm not out there on your missions, and I'm getting a little bored, so something like that to do would be good.
Congratulations, you have a task, and we have a shopping list. We'll make the shopping list happen. You can have a task. Wait a week? Is there anybody I can kill to make that go faster?
No,
You gotta work all the time.
I mean, if you...
I don't use people in my... No.
It was...
There's
large.
probably
Some
things you
kind of
could
necromancer?
steal
No.
to make it go
No.
faster.
Swear to God, I was just kidding.
Because
I was
when
just
someone
kidding.
dies, their PPE does double upon moment
No,
of
we're
death,
not.
but it is unethical to use that
Can
energy.
you make
Yes.
a battery out of ghosts?
No, we are not. Yes, no. That
So
No.
we
Oh,
did
no,
the whole
just,
place
you
had
know,
ghosts.
Ghost batteries tend to
hypothetically,
scream with the sound of the dead. They are quite
so do
unpleasant.
I when I don't get enough sleep.
hypothetically, I obviously can't make them, so. But you
I
can make a
would
battery
not.
out of ghosts.
Well, we have a plan. You will find some things for me. I will put this battery together, and then I will. In the meantime, I will tinker with the device of seeing. Let's see. I'm going to make a viewfinder.
What they bet a ghost hamster on a wheel?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to write a list, and you just gave me a. I can't process that yet. I will get to you in a minute.
Okay, I can wait.
Find a PPE battery. Very smooth.
While they're sitting, Rhaenyra is just literally rolling this, what, 1.5 foot long piece of narwhal horn between their hands.
You still have it, okay?
Oh, yeah,
Right,
no.
of course.
Good.
They got that fair and square. They broke that shit. That belongs to them now.
Yep.
I
And
completely
Kari will go.
forgot
Oh,
about it.
the hamster would be using more energy than it would create, especially if it was a ghost hammer that you summoned. It would be net loss.
Damn. What's I thought?
It's more interesting if you do it with elementals. You get a water elemental and a fire elemental, and they make steam. Or you could just get a wind elemental. But the elementals sometimes get a little pent up.
What about a wind elemental and a fire elemental?
This conversation continues happening as we zoom
Yep.
out.
I was gonna say,
The combination of
You said-
elementals and hamster ghosts.
From underneath the pillow, you just hear.
you did you say that the narwhal horn had been magic of some kind?
It is not. It has been magic. It has been magically treated to be as sharp as it is and tough as it is. It is not a magical object or weapon. Like, it would count. It would count as a magical weapon when used against things that are vulnerable to magical weapons, like vampires.
So it is, for example, say much like an iron sword that has been enchanted,
Yeah.
not a sword that is made out of like orichalcum.
Okay. So they biomancy the horn to be better.
Yes, they between bioengineering the species to be a hardier, more MDC species, and then finishing it with a fine coating of, armor all magically.
God damn it,
That's
Kevin!
exactly what it's used for.
You
Man, it's
motherfucker!
super
Make it
strong
shiny.
and shiny.
So they hit it with the 3M. I forget what the name of it is, but you put it on couches to make them stain resistant. Anyway,
Armoral, now literal.
Scotch guard.
Scotchguard. Yes, they Scotchguarded it.
Okay, cool.
All right, so
Delightful.
with that, we zoom
No
back.
Scott's getting in here.
The thing flying around invisibly, we see it we see it head off towards the center of the city and land on top of the art museum where its cloaking drops, and we see it's a shiny gold wasp looking thing about 15 feet long, 15 feet wide, with plasma guns for hands. And that's what we're in for the night.
Gold plasma gun wasp.
Oh no.
Oh god, it's a Buck Bumble.
15. Neat.
Troubling.
Anyway, thank
Oh,
you all
that's
for joining us. Thank you all for joining us for this episode of Gunmetal Soul, our Philly-themed Riffs game, where no one's keeping secrets because sometimes NPCs also have flaws like Big Mouth.
Which is very good.
Yeah,
I loved it.
it's fun.
Poor Faye. I'm so
The-
sorry.
It's like information, just like anything else, is currency to the Fae.
Uh-huh.
You gotta pay for any of this shit, and it's just like, you're just gonna give it all away for free? Okay, fine.
Thinks he's being
Sharing is
very clever,
caring.
but talks way too much. Anyway,
It was wonderful. I enjoyed him very much.
all right. So let's go around and tell the people who we are. Let's just go with Dara.
Hi everybody, I'm Dara. I've been sincere this evening. You can find me over at Wildcat Dara on basically whatever social, mostly. It's like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and right here on Twitch, where I stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I've been sick for the last couple of weeks. You guys haven't seen me, period, because I've just been really ill. But I'm hoping to come back with more stuff. I want to do more art stuff, so hopefully that'll be soon.
All right, thank you so much. Fox, say hello to the people.
Hello to the people.
Cool. I don't think you've got anything you want to plug, so
I have nothing.
Yeah, we need to fix
You're-
that.
you're happy about it. All right,
I'm about it.
you're about it. Okay.
I
And
have this Jersey Devil.
it is super
That's
cute.
what I have.
Well, what are you going to stream playing Cult of the Lamb?
I already did. I beat it.
That's true. You did.
I beat it. I beat it live on stream.
I was watching
did
most
the
of
thing.
that.
I still
All
haven't beat it.
So, now it's for the I feel like we should end with Riley, but I also want to give them time to look up a raid. So,
Oh right, I forgot to do that. I got
so
it.
Riley, tell us about your streaming habit,
Hi, I'm Riley.
and then look up the raid afterwards.
I do this thing here with the stuff, and so Mondays is here with this, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays, and honestly, whenever else the fuck I feel like it. We streamed on Friday because Diablo 4 was out, and it was a good time. We do the games, and sometimes other people join me. Actually, everybody who is here has joined me for a stream at some point gaming. So,
Can confirm.
yeah, and then I'm Starkraving Pro on Instagram because it's shitty and it doesn't let you have 16 characters and Starkraving Riley literally everywhere else because everywhere else is better. And that's just true because Twitter
Except it's
sucks.
not better because
Everything else is
anyway.
better.
Anyway, so hello, my name's Kevin. You can find. I will eventually be putting this episode, and I think I put the previous episode up. I'm not sure if I did. I'll have to double check on Gunmetal Rifts on YouTube. You can find old episodes there, and you can find my wife's amazing knitwear patterns at lattesandllamas.com for amazing stuff. If you want to keep up on what's happening here, check the look for us in the Discord here, which is a good place to find out what's happening. So, with that, I think that's pretty much it. So, I think...
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna raid Blackwater D&D because it's their 3rd anniversary of doing the thing that they do.
Hooray!
Oh, yay.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I love
D&D,
raiding an
I've
anniversary.
heard of that game.
I hear it's popular.
It's the one with the storm tiles. Very exciting.
All right, there we go.
Lots of D's.
Anyway, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll catch you soon. I'm gonna say bye now because I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, just go in there, give them
Bye.
love, post the thing, and be cool. And we will
Yes.
see you guys later.
All right,
Bye.
catch you soon. Bye.
Bye.